Hey guys, it's been a long time. Time I go live, I look at my hair and I fix my hair up, and I'm like, oh, my hair is sticking somewhere the other. Oh wow! I have an echo, so give me a second. 1 second, I have an echo here. Hold on. All right, let's see if I can see if I see if I hear myself. Hold on. Let me see. All right, let's see if I can see if I see. I hear myself. Okay, good. Hey guys, it's always good to see Instagram people. Hold on a second. I think I shut myself down. Hold on. Hey, hey Instagram. All right, hold on. If I see, I hear myself. Give me 1 second, guys. I tell you. Hey guys. Okay, good. I think I got it. I have Instagram people here. I have oh no, God, as soon as I start, that's when I start the sniffles again. Give me a second. I'm gonna have to mute you guys, and I'm gonna shut off the camera. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys, I'm back. All right, got my tissue, I got my water, I have my soda, cough medicine, lip balm, hair, place. All right, let's see. I don't see we came back on Instagram yet. Hold on, let's see. Is there a delay on Instagram? There we are. Yeah, there's a delay on Instagram. So I want to make sure Instagram is on. Let me make sure that both YouTube is on. I have two YouTube channel guys now, so we're gonna talk about that. But let me just take a look. One is MamaFlip slot channel, right? As many of you guys know, me and Grandma Flip have a YouTube channel where we play slots and gambling and stuff like that. But then I decided to do a second channel, which is MamaFlipLive, just plain and simple. So it's not MamaFlip with the two S, which is Grandma Flip and MamaFlipLive, but it's MamaFlip, one without an S, live. And that's my channel where I talk about all kind of things that I find interesting. You know, some of it will be political, some of it will not. Okay, hold on. So I was just seeing the new Terry Crews interview with Shannon. I think that was really great. It is really great. So let me look at my channel. All right, look like I'm on live. Okay, so I am on live on MamaFlip slots. So now I'm going to check to see if I'm on live with MamaFlipLives, because that channel is brand new. And yeah, it's not. I'm not on live on this one. It says, you see, the thing is about MamaFlipLive is the fact. Let me look at the channel. Hold on, am I live? Yep, I'm live there too. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm live on all. Okay, good. Making it work. So MamaFlipLive, I have no subscribers on MamaFlipLive. I have MamaFlip slot channels. We have over 700 and something subscribers, but I have no subscribers on MamaFlipLive. So I'm going to start on MamaFlip slot channel, and then I'm going to shut off that stream, right? And then I'm going to go to MamaFlipLive. And I'm hoping that anybody who's interested in what I have to say will come to YouTube, or let me make sure that you guys can hear me on Instagram. Can you guys hear me on Instagram? Yeah, you can hear me on Instagram. If you are on Instagram, I would appreciate if you go into YouTube and subscribe to not only MamaFlipLive, but also MamaFlip Slot Live, MamaFlip Slot channel. I know it's a lot. I'm sorry. I want to, the reason Mama Flip Slot, so let's talk about the slot channel. It's important is that it shows me and Grandma Flip playing slot machines. We are slot players, social media influencers. We have a lot of fun doing that. And I want to get the channel over 1,000 so we could start getting recognized in the community as legitimate content creators, right? And start getting recognized for our slot playing, et cetera, et cetera. In order to do that, YouTube, social media has to recognize us. And for YouTube, we need a few more subscribers. So we need to get over 1,000. So hopefully that you could go to the YouTube MamaFlip slot channel to subscribe. Now, as far as MamaFlip channel, that's just going to be really much conversation about different things. A lot of different things that I'm going to be talking about, mostly political, because we're in a very political environment and we have an election coming up. So I'm going to be talking about a lot of stuff when it comes to politicking and stuff like that. And one of the reasons I wanted to take it out of the MamaFlip slot channel is, first of all, the channel should just be really concentrating on slots. But one of the things I'm finding interesting is a lot of people that I'm meeting in the slot community, you don't really talk about politics because it's like playing slots, right? We're gamblers, we're enjoying ourselves. But sometimes when you're around people and you start listening to them, especially when you're watching their channel, you kind of start sensing or feeling where the affiliation is, like kind of which party, because they be saying things like all lives matter, all slot lives matter, things like that they start saying, and they'd be saying some funny, tricky words or summary that be like, if you know, you know. You're like, okay, I see you. I see you. But the slot channel and the gambling really technically is not a political world, technically, because you work and meet all kind of people. And when you're playing slots and you're gambling, that's what you're doing. And you have a connection with these people because they like playing slots. You like playing slots. You strategize. They're very, very nice. We met some very, very nice people. And I'm sure a lot of them was Trump supporters. And I'm just hanging out, laughing about slot playing. Drinking, having good time, sharing notes with each other, like following each other, because that's what we're doing. We're playing slots. We're having good times. We're not putting a political lens on what we're doing. Of course, me being a political person and who I am, my ears is always open for something. My ears is always open for some shenanigans. But if I want to be part of this world, right, and I want to be a slot player, I'm going to have to play. A friend of mine named Natasha, she said you have to play in a sandbox. I have to learn how to play in the sandbox. So meaning that I have to take my political hat off, put it down, right? And then play in the sandbox. And then after I leave the sandbox, put my political hat back on so I could try to kick behind. So that's what I have to do. So, and thinking like that, and I know that since it's such a political hot arena, I may not get a lot of subscribers on the MamaFlip slot channel if I piss them off like that, right? If I make it political. One of the most interesting people that I saw that had to navigate that was, wait a minute. Am I frozen here? Oh, I look like I'm frozen. That I saw that had to navigate that. I'm not frozen, sorry. I thought I was frozen, guys. I had to check. So it looked like I'm not frozen. One of the people that I found that it was very interested that I see that had to navigate that was Brian Christopher slot channel. I actually started watching Brian Christopher maybe a couple of years ago when my mother really was into playing slots. After she caught COVID, she came back. She was talking about these different slot channels she watched on YouTube. I said, I'm not gonna spend my time watching people on playing slots. I'm like, what's that about? You know? And I loved playing slots back in the days, but I used to hate losing money, so I stopped playing. I stopped going to the casino. So my mother used to go to the casino with her friends. And unfortunately, the person that she used to go to the casino with, Marie, died from COVID. God rest her soul. It was very devastating when Marie died, because she was young. I think she was young. She was younger than me. I mean, it was devastating when she died. So when my mother came back, I became her partner. And I talk about it in MamaFlip slot channel. You can read the description. And then I realized that, okay, wow, here we go. I'm a gambler. And, and I'm like, here we go. I'm playing slots for mommy. So now I'm really into the playing the slots, because I used to be obsessed with playing and gambling. But I stopped myself because I was spending too much money. And now I'm back in the world. And I know that I love playing slots. My mom loved playing slots, and that's why I created the slot channel. So I created a slot channel, and then when I was creating a slot channel, before I created a slot channel, mommy told me about Brian Christopher, and she was telling me that other guys she was watching, Raj and NG and all these other guys. And I'm like, I'm not gonna sit there and watch them. But then I started sitting there watching them, because I was like, oh, this is interesting, because you could get obsessed, because if you're not playing slots and you love playing slots, and you're home and you're not doing anything, and you watch them playing slots, it's almost like you're playing slots. And if you're really serious about playing slots and poker and different sports like that, it's like another sport. You get really interested. You start watching and seeing what games they play, what the strategies is, what's their wins and their losses. So that's what. But it's really like something you're home doing. It's like watching your favorite soap opera or watching your favorite game. It's the same thing. So then, going back to Christopher, there was a time that there was a lot of attacks with the LBGTQ community. Forgive me if I'm have the letters wrong. Let me make sure I say the letters right. Give me, and then the guys who watch me, if you haven't watched me, you're gonna see I take the time to do the Googles and check. Okay, so it's the LGBTQ community. Thank you. I do a lot of searching. I do my little Google search, and I have links, and I share a bunch of stuff. I get into a lot of trouble if I share too much content, but I believe in being prepared. So anyway, let's go back to Brian Christopher. So anyway, Brian was talking because there was a lot of attacks on the LGBTQ community, especially the trans community. And one day he was doing, he does a fundraiser every year in June, and he just so happened to mention that, I want to show my love and support to my LGBTQ community as a whole. Please support them. Please love. And he just said, love is love. That's all he said. He said, love is love. He said, whatever your political views are, whatever your views are, love is love. Oh, they were on him on the comments. Oh, they were on him. There were some people on him. Oh, this is a casino channel. This shouldn't be political. It's not about politics. It's about playing and having fun. How dare you? He lost his mind. He's like, look, I'm not doing anything but saying love is love. I'm fundraising. That's all. I'm not trying to make it political. If you don't like the channel, please leave. Because I'm just saying love is love. People are being attacked. And this is my opportunity to say, please allow people to be who they are, love who they want to love, and just let it love be love, let it go. So he was doing that. And again, I'm going to cough. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. The funny thing, before I go do lives, I don't cough. I don't do anything most of the time. And as soon as I get on live, I start coughing. So anyway, Christopher did that. They were on him on the comments, and you could tell who's who whenever they're making comments, slide comments, whatever. So he's like, if you don't want to be on my channel, please, step aside. I'm just going to make this comment because I believe love is love. We shouldn't attack people for those who love it, and let it go. So I've been noticing that, and again, I'm political, right? So if you know me and know my life, I'm political. Anyway, so then of course I started my own slot channels, and then I realized nobody was really following me. So then I started doing a lot of lives, and the lives I was doing was focused on my son and his new job, and the group that he was, the organization he joined in his new lives. It got a lot of attention. People started joining me and stuff like that, which was lovely. So I started doing more lives about it, more commentary, until the commentary hit home a little too much, and then I stopped. Right? So I said, look, I'm not going to touch that part of my son's life and his people. I'll leave him alone. But then I started thinking that, okay, so I do want to continue the slot channel. I'm meeting a lot of amazing people. A lot of those people may be from the opposing people who doesn't agree with the same political views that I do, and who's going to be very offended with a lot of stuff I'm going to say, because I'm going to say a lot of stuff that's going to offend them. So I said, let me just separate everything. So I'm going to do the MamaFlip slot channel, which is going to be me and MamaFlip, Grandma Flip. I'm MamaFlip. Grandma Flip playing slots is going to be that. And then after that, I'm going to do MamaFlip slots. MamaFlipLive. So right now I have the two YouTubes going on at the same time. I have the MamaFlip slot channel and I have the MamaFlip Live. But I'm going to shut down the MamaFlip slot channel shortly in the hopes that people who are on the MamaFlip slot channel will come to the MamaFlip Live and subscribe and join and watch it there. Because again, I want the MamaFlip slot channel just to be a slot channel, you know, because 2016 was a very hard year for me, because, you know, a lot of people who don't know me should know that I was a huge Hillary supporter. And I was part of several speaking engagements, because I'm a gun violence survivor advocate, but I was really, that's what I did. That's my advocacy. I traveled around the world and then around the States and talk about gun violence prevention. And I was invited to do different speaking engagement, you know, so I was a supporter of Hillary Clinton. I wanted her to win. I didn't hate Trump at the time because I used to watch The Apprentice, and I loved The Apprentice. I was a big fan of The Apprentice. I couldn't stand him after he made the comment about the Mexican. And the reason why I took the Mexican comment so personal is the fact that, and I'm going to close the camera again. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I feel I have a cold, but I'm going to close the camera, but I'm going to still be talking. I'll be right back. So the reason why I started getting so annoyed with him because of his Mexican comment, talking about Mexico immigrants that coming in are rapists and criminals and stuff like that. It's because the reason I got upset is because, first of all, I didn't expect it from him, because, like, you know, a lot of times when you see the stars that you see on TV and you like them and you like their strength and the Bravo personality, and you think they're rich and millionaire, and you think they're just like funny, you think they really are good people. So when I heard him say that, I was offended for my Mexican brothers and sisters. I was offended. And then after that, and then all the other stuff he started doing, and then all the disrespectful. And I heard about the sexual assault allegation, which I'm totally me too. So I started hearing that, and I'm like, this guy's a real creep. In my opinion, Trump was a real creep, and I did not want to vote or even have anybody like that in office. And I thought it was a joke to even have this clown. And then I heard about the Central Park, when he put out an article about Central Park, the Central Park 6, which I didn't know about, because, again, back in those days I wasn't political. And then I heard about they had to sue him because he wouldn't let black and brown bodies get, him and his father and mother wouldn't let black and brown bodies rent from their houses back in the day. So as time goes by, as in 2015, 2016, we just started hearing a lot of stuff about this guy. I didn't like him. I didn't take him into a particular threat. I didn't think he was going to win, to be honest with you. A lot of us didn't. It became a shock when he did win. And I was very angry about it because I thought he was a creep. I thought that for a position of that high to have this particular person was a disgrace to me. That's just my opinion, right? I was very angry, very depressed, very mad for a very long period of time. My family knows this. Anybody who knows me knows I wasn't playing. Don't talk to me about this son of a gun. I ain't vote for him. I used to say I ain't vote for the motherfucker. Excuse my language. So whatever he did is on him. I'm going to do what I can as far as gun violence prevention, veteran support. I'm going to be in these advocacy. I'm going to march for Black Lives Matter. I'm going to do what I can. I ain't vote for him. Anything he do ain't my freaking problem. Ain't my business. It's not that it wasn't my problem. I still was advocating, still stopping the injustice. We were doing Love Trump Hate. Me and my veterans group, I was there in the JFK when they were trying to keep our Muslim brothers and sisters who have green cards from coming to the United States. I rallied when they separated the kids. I was there at the airports fighting against it, supporting. I did a lot of stuff from 2016 to 2020. I did a lot of marching, a lot of stuff, I did all that, everything. But the fact of the matter, I didn't take any blame for this mofo. I just didn't. It wasn't my issue. You guys voted for him. Whoever voted for him, you guys put him there. He's doing all kind of nonsense. That's on you guys. And then COVID happened, and my mother almost died. So the deep resentment I have of this one particular person named Donald Trump is like really deep in my soul, like really deep. I was angry for a very long time. Angry at his people, angry at any of my people who affiliate with him. As far as I know, none of my close friends or people or family is one of his supporters. If they were, they kept it a deep, dark secret. I was told that at my job, there were several people who were Trump supporters at my job, and they very clearly know. If you come to my office and you see my cubicle, you will see everything that shows you who I am. Every article, every award I received massive amount of awards for the work I do. Every article shows me clear Democratic, and all my conferences has always been very open. Of course, I do notice that some of my people, sometimes we have like different screens in the office because of who we are. We have to keep aware of what's going on in the community. So I would see a couple of people who would be reading certain newspaper or watching certain channels, and I'll be like, I see you. Just like you see me, I see you. But we didn't talk about it really at work because it's not really a place to talk about. Except for, I've made some various comments when a certain article comes out about a particular Trump. Whenever he got into trouble, of course, me and my co-workers will talk about it. Other people will never talk and defend him. There was never a conversation about defending him, but we were so clearly in the conversation. I said, like, you see your son? I said, you see your boy? I said, you see your stepfather? I said, you see your boyfriend? Like that. We were joking about it, but it wasn't funny, but that's our way of dealing. It was around 2018, I think I started calming down a little bit. My anger wasn't as every day. It wasn't like I didn't wake up and go to sleep angry so much. Like some of the stuff that he had implemented, it was being rejected by courts and stuff like that. So the Supreme Court was kind of still legitimate at the time, and we felt like even though things were bad, we still had a court system. We still was able to mitigate how bad it was. It was bad for us, but we still was mitigated. Then 2018, I wasn't so angry. 2019, I became a little bit more amicable. I could talk to people now, and I still wasn't talking to anybody that I felt was a Trump supporter. That just wasn't happening. And the reason why I wasn't talking to anybody that I knew was Trump supporters, because first of all, I was still very angry about the whole situation. I just thought he was just a creep. I mean, like sometimes, like, when you go into a room and you see somebody or you talk to somebody and your skin crawl. I just thought that he was just nasty. And then the GOP Republicans just started talking a bunch of yin yang, like they were hypocrites, they were liars, they were just doing so many just very nasty, disruptible stuff that we're like, it was just bad. So, but in 2019, I calmed down a lot. Like 2018, 2019, I started calming down a lot. Some of my closest friends were not Trump supporters, but their family was Trump supporters. And every time I walk into the room and they were there, you could see how uncomfortable they are, because I'm like one of those big aggressive Black women, like not very loud, very aggressive, very like when I walk in a room and I want it to be like, I want my presence felt, I will make my presence felt, because that's just me. My son, Queen's Flip, get it very honestly. When I want to be in presence, and even when I don't want to be known in the room, people will like kind of look like there's something wrong with her. Like, what's going on with you? Why are you so quiet? I mean, I don't know if there's people that just have that energy, and I'm not trying to big myself up. I'm just saying it because that's how it's seen. Like, even when I'm at office, if I don't say anything, people will be like, what's wrong with you? What's going on with you? Sometimes you have people who have like that energy, that personality that's always on the go, always on. And then when they're off, it's like people are like, okay, what's up? So whenever I used to be in an environment where there was Trump supporters, you could just sense they were not comfortable. They were not comfortable being around me. I'm just telling you. And even if it was big back, even if it was people who were very strong Trump supporters, I guess they didn't want to have that argument. And I didn't want to have that argument. I really didn't, because I would be sitting here talking pleasantly, getting to know you. You say anything Trump, I go from 0 to 100. Like my whole energy is off. The anger, the just like, and don't to me, don't try to justify anything, right? Because I used to be that type of person that I would talk to people, and we could have an intellectual conversation about our differences in opinion as far as politicking. Like, whether you're a Bernie supporter versus Obama supporter, different things like that. We used to be able to have a discussion as far as the differences, what people felt, Obama didn't do versus what he did, why Bernie was, people who love Bernie. I used to be able to have these discussions, even though I didn't agree, we used to have a conversation. And even when Trump wanted to run, I used to be able to have the conversation like, hell no, you can't vote for this guy because of this. No, anyway. But just to go to, so I was angry. So 2018, 2019, I used to make a lot of people very uncomfortable. 2017, 2018, I used to make a lot of people very uncomfortable. 2018, 2019, not so much, because we're here. So we're here, we're living through this. This man is here. Blah, blah, blah. A lot of crazy stuff is happening. A lot of people are still supporting and still like, oh, he's doing an amazing job. He's giving us what we want. We're saving taxes. We're saving everything is low. Blah, 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 blah. I still don't talk about it. It's not my problem. That's your problem. It's not my problem, to be honest with you. I'm not going to have a conversation about you justifying who this way and when I can't stand up. So let's just not talk about it. Let's be polite and nice to each other and stuff like that, and talk about how's things, how's the kids, how was your summer? Did you go on a trip? Oh my God, how was... Wow, was it fabulous? How was the yacht? Oh my God, I remember when I went to my first trip with my mom. We had amazing. I never thought I was going to enjoy a cruise, and I enjoyed the cruise. The cruise was fabulous. That kind of conversation. Very on top, very surface conversation. And a lot of people I've known since many years, since I was a teenager. So very surface, very respectful, blah, 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 gone. Then 2020 happened, COVID happened. We got stuck in our own lives, our own silos. We had to live through that. And then the election came, and I did everything I can in my life to make sure this man lost. Everything. I was in DC for a week. It was a lot of marches. Then you had the Proud Boys there. I was out there with the Proud Boys. When I wasn't there when they pulled the flag from the black church, because I was there, somebody was going to get hurt. I promise you. If I was there when I saw that fool pulled out because they had a lot of us leave the day before, because there was 2 routes. There was us and everybody else, and then the next day when we left, the Proud Boys came in and they did their rally. That's when they did all the black bull BS. We were already gone, but the night before we were in the same hotel, because I saw some of them. I didn't know they were Proud Boys then, but I know who's Trump supporters, who's not. I was in the same hotel with them, but you get in the elevator with them, you get out of the elevator with them. You don't say what you gonna say. F you and everything you stand on. No, you could tell who's who, but you just keep it moving. So I wasn't there when that fool pulled the flag from the black church in DC, but I was there to fight for count every vote, and then Biden won. We celebrated. We went home. That was the election. 2020, we suffered through we suffered through losing a Supreme Court justice who passed away, which is sad. They stole a seat, in my opinion. All of that happened. All of that happened. We went through it. We're on the other side now. We had Biden, and I will say it, and I said it before, and I'll say it again. The best sleep I've gotten in 4 years, because I was always constantly, even though I got less and less angry, and I was able to have more and more conversations and be less outwardly angry and more easy to deal with, I still didn't really sleep comfortably until after Biden won the election. It was weird. And then January 6th happened. Lord have mercy. These white people, boy, and black, because you had a couple of Uncle Ruckus and Auntie Renee in there with them, fighting and trying to destroy the Capitol to get in there to stop the election. When they happened, I sat in my room. I'm like, look at these motherfuckers. Look at these fools climbing to the window. I was fixated watching it with everybody else. Like, look at these motherfuckers. Look at these son of a gun. Look at them. Look at them. Show them. Oh my God, they had a noose. Oh my God, they're calling for Pence. Oh my God, they're gonna hang Pence. All of that. I was there January 6th. I'm just shaking my damn head like this. These motherfuckers. That's how it was with me. Like, oh my God. Right? But I was calm. No matter what we did, Biden went to office. Now we back again 4 more years. We back again 4 more years. After 4 years, now we have another election. And then we have to go through this again. Right? So with all of that said, I say this to say, okay, I started playing slots. I'm meeting a lot of people. I'm not as angry. I'm able to sleep. I'm able to be more not open to conversations, but I'm able to like be in the same room with people that I know that doesn't share the same views as me. That honestly in their heart believe that this mofo is their Jesus Christ. That he's going to save the world for them because all the rest of us are idiots. That's the thing that I had to really get used to. I had to get used to the fact that there is a whole group of people that really think that we're stupid on this side, that we're sheeps, that we're cowards, that we stole an election, that Donald Trump is Jesus Christ wrapped up in everything. I had to really come to terms with that. And I had to also come to terms with the fact that because I felt deep down in my heart that Trump supporters were initially evil people. Initially, I felt that Trump supporters were evil people. I'm keeping it 100. Just like Nazi. I felt that Trump supporters was like Proud Boys Nazi. Terrorists. Trump supporters asshole, nasty, evil, selfish, ignorant, assholes. Anything imagine, I thought that. I don't like them. I can't hang with them. I don't trust them. I don't want my grandkids, my kids and stuff like that to be around them. And then my son had a very close friend named King Face, God rest his soul. King Face really liked me. King Face really liked me, God bless his soul. Very nice, good-looking, amiable young man, black man. I could not stand me any King Face. I couldn't do it. I couldn't talk to King Face. Whenever he was in the area, one time we was in a concert together, and I saw some of the other staff members that hung out with Flip, that was part of Flip the Network. And I was about to go down. I remember I was about to go down and sit next to them. And then I saw King Face and I went right back up and hid. I was terrible. Sorry, King Face. I hid. I couldn't sit. I didn't want to have that discussion with King Face. I didn't. God rest his soul. But he was such a supporter of Donald Trump, and he got his wish, though. One thing you got to give it to him, he got his wish. He was able to go to the White House. He was able to meet Donald Trump, and I know that made his existence. I know he did everything he can to have that moment, and he did that before he passed away. And you got to give that kind of energy respect, because this man loved him some Donald Trump. You couldn't tell him nothing. A black, young, good-looking, intelligent black male loved him some Donald Trump, and he was able to navigate that and meet the witch Candace Owens, who I can't stand, and all the others, and the Trump, the juniors, and the and the in-laws, and he was able to get interviews with them, and then he finally got invited to the White House, and he met the man, made his life. God bless him. He did it. God bless him. God bless him. God bless him. But I couldn't talk to him. I couldn't talk to him. I didn't want him anywhere around me. I just couldn't do it. But he was Flip's best friend. And him and Flip, like, he loved Flip. So here you go, right? So I can't stand who he likes, who should support. I can't stand his ideology, because I just thought he was a young Uncle Ruckus. That's what I thought. I thought that you over here putting all this energy behind this clown, this white clown who ain't doing nothing for us as a human being, who's making us a laughing stock in the whole United States. You putting so much energy into this guy, right? And you're such a smart man. Like, you know, you're really smart. But he was smart because he got what he wanted. So I couldn't deal with him. And then one day, and I tell this story a lot of times. I think I told the story several times. But one day, me and Miss Dixon, again, I have a sniffle, so I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to shut off the camera. Me and Miss Caroline Dixon, who is advocate in these streets, we were driving and we were marching. I think it was it's a gun violence, Black Lives Matter gun violence prevention rally through Jamaica, Queens. And I was driving behind them because we were still going through COVID at this time, and I still wasn't out there like marching all the time. I mostly was driving around behind protests. And all of a sudden I'm going, and I think we were going down, I don't think we were going down Archer. I don't know which street we were driving down because we were fighting. It was definitely a young man got killed, a young kid got killed, and we were driving. I don't remember what that, but it was definitely South Jamaica, Queens. And we were driving, and all of a sudden I'm seeing a guy get surrounded. Like he was getting surrounded, and I pulled over, and I said, "Miss Dixon, look at this crap." She's like, "What?" I said, "These people going to chop this guy." I was like, "What the hell is going on?" So me not minding my business, which I never do, I pull over, and I'm like, "Yo," I'm like, "Will you roll out the window? What do you got?" And I look, I'm like, "Ah, damn, it's King Face." She's like, "It's who?" I said, "It's King Face." She's like, "Oh, I don't know." Miss Dixon was like, "I don't know his name, but I know who he is because he over here clowning and wearing the Trump supporter hat in the middle of a Black area in Jamaica, Queens, and stuff like that." Oh my God! I said, "This King." I said, "It's Flip's friend." I rolled on the window. I said, "Face," and I think there's a whole live. There's a whole live. I think I have it on live. I think I probably still have it on Instagram. There's a whole live. I gotta find it and reshare it in memory of him. I said, "Face. Face." At first he wasn't paying attention. I said, "Face, what are you doing?" He looked at me. He said, "Hey, Mom." He called me Mom. You see this? You see this? He's still like me, even though I ignored that boy for like as long as he knew Flip. I just ignored him. If I see him, I would be like, "Hey, what's up?" But I did not want to have a conversation with him. He's like, "Hey, Mom." I said, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Nothing." I said, "You're about to get jumped out here. What's wrong with you?" I said, "Y'all better leave him alone. You need to go home." He said, "Mom, I'm not doing anything." I said, "Face, go home." I'm like, "What are you doing arguing with these guys in the middle of Queens? Wear the Trump supporter hat. Go home. Stop playing around with these people." So anyway, he ended up leaving after a while, and I kept on going. And then he just sent a really wonderful, like, sweet post on Instagram, thanking me for having his back and stuff like that. He's a sweet kid, and having his back. And then after that, I didn't hear anything about him for a while until I heard that he got sick. I spoke to his family, and unfortunately, he passed away. God rest his soul. But he was another prime example of what politics could do to us, because from after he passed away, I found out that he tried to open up a school in the community for Black and brown children. They were giving free services. I heard that he was actually helping the community. He was very serious in helping, like, the Black and brown bodies in Queens. I heard that from his family members. I heard it from my son, but I didn't know any of this because I didn't want to know any of this, because as far as I'm concerned, if you are a Trump supporter, I didn't want to have anything to do with you. Like, it wasn't nice. It couldn't be a nice conversation. It just couldn't be a nice conversation because I couldn't understand how good people could support such evil. But then when you start listening to the other side, they think the same thing about us. Like, how can you be a good person and support an evil person? Because they think that our people are evil, that our people are predators, our people are liars, and our people are cheaters and stuff like that. I started to pay attention to that side. I completely disagree. Like, I will not look at Newsmax. I will not look at Fox News. I hear from other people, like people who wants to actually entertain that conversation. I hear it from them, because I'm just not that person. I'm not the middle person. I'm the fighter. Like, there's two. I keep talking about there's two type of advocacy I learned. There's birding, and there's a bulldog. Right? I'm the bulldog, where I bark and fight and give a lot of energies, opposing views, whereas you have the people that's the birding, who's in the middle, who's willing to talk to both sides. I used to be that person. I stopped being that person after Donald Trump. I just couldn't do it. I just can't do it. I don't even know if I ever could come back to it. I don't know. Maybe, possibly. I'm actually seeing myself being more receptive to, like, certain conversations and listening. But I say this. I know I'm going on a tangent. I say this because God rest King Face. King Face was really one of the first people who loved my son to the point, like him and my son were really close. Anybody who loved my son, I loved them, right? So even though I wasn't around him, talking about him, I didn't want to see him and stuff like that. When I did see him, I will talk to him. And of course, I would never allow anybody to hurt him in my presence. And I felt genuinely sad when he passed away because he was like one of a million. Like he was a good, genuinely good person who really felt in his best interest that he knew best. And he really loved my son and he really loved the community and he really wanted to do things. I just felt that he was doing it for the devil. That's how I felt. And I wish he had survived. I wish he had survived because I promise you, if he had survived, me and him would still be fighting to this day. We would be fighting like dogs, and I would have allowed him. I would have been able to talk to him now. Like I wasn't able to talk to him from 2016 to 2020. I wasn't able to talk to him, but I would have been able to talk to him now. To really be like you about some bullshit. And he'd be like, Mom, stop. I don't want to disrespect you. I can just see the conversation between me and King Face. I would have really been able to have the conversation with him now. So I say this, all right, to fast forward to the slot channel, right? So you have a slot channel. People who are not political but support Donald Trump may not want to join my slot channel or watch me and my mother play slots because I'm such an opposing person to Donald Trump, right? So, and I still would be. And slots and gambling is not really about politics. It's about spending time, having fun, enjoying meeting new people. That's what it's about, right? And you don't know who everybody is. You could hear from some of their comments, some of their statements, who they have around them. If you know, you could just detect who's who support who does. If you're really in tune, you could detect it. But when it comes to playing and gambling and slot and playing, it shouldn't be about that in a weird way. And I don't know if I'm making myself clear. And it took a long time for me to get to where I'm at, because the fact of the matter is that I may not yet be there to talk, have a genuine, like open heart conversation with a Trump supporter. I may not be able to do that. I may never be able to do that ever. But I believe I could be in the same room with them, right? And we could just be civil, if not cool. You understand what I'm saying? Because fact of the matter is, we're playing, we're having good times. You're who you are, I'm who I am, and that's it. You have your guy, I have my guy, and let's leave that outside and just have fun. And that's where I am now. I'm surprised too, 2024. I started in 2023 and I'm in 2024. I could actually be in the room. They may not want to be in the room with me, but they don't know. We don't talk about politics, but I could actually be in the room and I could actually look at somebody and I'm like, yeah, I see you. I see you. I see the shirt you wear. Like, for example, they have the police officers that believes that are not happy with Black Lives Matter narratives, right? So they wear like the American flag that's in blue, right? A lot of them are Trump supporters, and they wear the cap, and they wear the shirts. A lot of them are Trump supporters. Then you have the people who's wearing the flags, because the flags is the new Trump flag, right? Because you're not going to wear the Trump flag, so you have the people wear the flags. That's a lot of them are Trump supporters. Then you have, very rarely I see, but I've seen Trump supporter cap. But people that just the other day, where was I? Was that Bollies? Yeah, Bollies. And I saw this guy playing one of the slots, and he was just probably walking with his Trump supporter hat, sitting playing some with Trump supporter hats, and I gave him the evil eye. It must be nice. But he's playing slots. I'm playing slots. We're in the same room. What we're gonna do, right? So I'm in a. So I say all of this to say that I give you the long-winded story to say that's why I feel that I had to, like, separate the channels, because I don't want the slot channel to be a political channel. I want the slot channel just to be slot. Anybody playing, everybody enjoying each other, blah, 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 and stuff like that. Because I know for a fact, what the hell? Can you guys hear me? You telling me I've been talking all this time and then hold on a second. Let me see. Because this is not on. Hold on a second, guys. I'm asking my cat. Oh, my son. You telling me I've been talking all this time? Hold on, guys. So you guys Instagram can hear me. Let me see. How can Instagram hear me? Hold on. Let me see. How can Instagram hear me? You guys can hear me on YouTube too? Let me see. Hold on. I'm coming right back, guys. This is very weird. You guys can hear me on YouTube? Because my... Hold on. I'm coming right back, guys. This is not weird. This is not... Hello? Okay. You guys used to see this. This is the weirdest thing right now. I'm looking at my microphone. Okay. It hasn't been on this time, but you guys can hear me. So hold on. I want to check something else. It hasn't been on this time, but you guys can hear me. Hold on. So hold on. I want to check something else. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. I'm just checking. This is the weirdest thing. I've never. Hold on. Can you hear me? Yeah. This is okay. So I guess we're good. Wow. Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah, you guys can hear me. Yeah. Okay. So I guess we're good. Wow. Okay. Just goes to show that when you, and let me lower this. Just goes to show when you don't have the technology. Remind me of the Bionic Man. So I'm just talking, and I realized that my microphone is not on, but yet you could hear me. So that means somehow there's another microphone working into the cameras and stuff like that. This is weird. I'll figure it out later, but at least I'm not talking like to empty air all this time. Okay, so I'm switching back from MamaFlip slots. I'm switching it back to MamaFlipLive. Hold on. Make sure that you guys could still hear me here, that I'm still live. Hold on, close. Is this MamaFlip Live or this is MamaFlip slots? Which one? Yep, MamaFlip Lives. Can you guys hear me? Is this MamaFlip Live? Yep, excellent. Okay, so now let's check Instagram. Hey, Instagram. Let me check Instagram. Let's check Instagram. Yep, you guys can hear me. Nice. Okay, good. All right, sorry guys. So I've been talking about this for like 47 minutes, and I'm gonna go to topics. So I say this to say that I wanted to separate the slot channels from the live, right? Me talking about live, because I want to separate politics from slot playing, because a lot of us have different views. And the same resentment, I'm sure, that I've had for the last few years, they probably have of me, because of, if they really want to talk about it, because of who I support and who I vote for. But it's not about voting this morning. It's about meeting new people, having good times, and when politics is not involved, you could actually really have a good time. But as silly as this may sound, like it's a surprising revelation, whatever. But when you that into politics the way I have been the last few years and stuff like that, and then when you stand on what you stand on, when you stand firm in your belief, it's hard for you to look and say that, I could really hang out and have good time with these people. Like, it's hard for you unless it happens. Unless it happens, it's hard for you to actually look at it, because it's like, yeah, that's all I could say, unless you're there, because I've been meeting a lot of amazing people while playing slot, and I could tell, just they have these tells, these things that they wear, the comments that they say, you could just tell, like, I see where we're going. I see where we're going with this. I'll give you a prime example. So, there was something that I was working on not too long ago, and I met this amazing brown woman, and I don't know if she could have been Middle Eastern brown, but I can't tell you what exactly. She was, and maybe she was just dark skinned, like because of the sun, like stuff like that. But either way, she wasn't directly typical like just white woman, Caucasian woman. There was some mixture in there. So we were having an amazing conversation. When I'm telling you, we were having an amazing conversation. And she was so helpful to me, like to the point where she was like, she wasn't giving me answers to questions, but I didn't know. She knew so much more than I did, and she was so helpful to me. And she was just answering my questions, giving me answers. And she was just like, really, we were vibing for at least 40 minutes, like talking about a certain subject matter I didn't know. She was giving me answers. I was asking questions, and we were really getting to know each other. And then suddenly she asked me about COVID. And I said, yeah, my mom was one of the longest living COVID survivors. In New York, and she almost died. She's like, you must really want to thank Dr. Oh shoot. Oh my God. No, we're not gonna do that. What's my doctor? Hold on, guys. Okay, we're not doing that because he just retired. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Nope, that's not him. Nope. Fauci. Thank you. Oh my God, I'm not doing that because it's gonna, She's like, you must really want to thank Dr. Fauci for all he did to bring COVID to the community. Woosah, you should have seen my face when she made that comment. I had to keep my face straight. Like I knew I evolved to a different level of peace, tranquility, of just letting people be who they are, and just being in an arena of like open-mindedness and listening, and just being in a place where I could just, take time to just listen. You can see it, because if it was me in 2016, 2017, 2018, the conversation would end very quickly and very hostile. So I was like, she's like, you must really want to thank him, huh? How he brought COVID to the. You have to understand, this person was an expert. Like, you wouldn't have think, if you look at that particular person, you wouldn't have thought that particular, depending on what side of the political environment you wouldn't think those words would have came out of that person's mouth. If you saw that person, if you saw that particular person, you would not have thought about it. You would have like, I was like, wow. I didn't say nothing. I'm like, Went like this. She hesitated a little bit. She said it twice. She looked at me. All I said is, And then we continued the conversation as if nothing went wrong. And then we started continuing with the conversation. Got up, thanked her very much. She was very influential at getting something done for me. She was extremely helpful. I have to give it out to her. She was the expert in knowing what she did. She helped me to the end. I got what I needed to get done successfully. I'm good. I thank her. If I never see her again in life, that'll be good, but I thank her. So I had to come to that realization. So anyway, I'm separating the channel, and I say all of this for an hour and something to say. I'm separating the channels because playing slots should not, and having fun with people should not become a political issue. It should not. We shouldn't be. I shouldn't have to be worried about it becoming politic. And so a lot of the stuff, I'm going to leave the channel on MamaFlip slot channel for this. And I'm going to welcome you guys to MamaFlipLive #1. The first episode of MamaFlipLive #1. I did a lot of lives about my son's new job. And I was going to upload the video to MamaFlip slots. And I started uploading like 3 or 4. And then YouTube shut down my channel. MamaFlipLive saying that I violated the community by sharing copywritten stuff. And I had to appeal. I'm like, hello, hey, can you give me back my channel? Because that's my content. I said, and the reason why it was so funny is because I was following YouTube rules. YouTube said YouTube doesn't have a mechanism to transfer a video from one channel to another. According to the research, you have to download the video, make it private, or remove it from your previous channel and upload it to your new channel. So that's what I was doing. I made it private, took it off of MamaFlip slots, and I started putting some of the videos I did before to the new channel, and then they blocked. They actually canceled my MamaFlip tab, but they gave it back to me, so that's why I have it. So I hope that you guys will come, because I'm going to start talking about the topics. I'm going to leave it on MamaFlip Live channel. I'm going to leave the Mama Slot channel open. And then after that, I'll probably cut everything I have to say. I'll cut it out into just to this intro, right? So that everybody know to come to MamaFlip channel. So again, I'm not going to be doing my political rants and ravings and critiques and stuff like that on MamaFlip slot channel. I'm going to leave that slot channel only for slot playing and having a good time and meeting new people and stuff like that, because they are fun. I said, girl and boys of the world, no matter what your political views are, when you're playing slots and drinking and having a good time with these people, they are a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Very nice, accommodating, helpful people. You know, you could have an inkling that they're supporting Trump or GOP or whatever. You could have an inkling because of what they say and do. But I tell you, when they're fun and laughing and we drinking, having a good time, ha ha ha, they're amazing people. People are people when we hanging around having a good time playing, but they're amazing people. So I want to separate that. I want to be able to have fun with these people, talk to them, not worry about the political stance while we're playing slots and having good times and stuff like that. You know, because if once I find out I'm gonna curse you out, no, I'll be polite. But I don't want to be. I don't want that to mix up. So we're gonna separate MamaFlip slot channel, right? Leave it to slot playing, gambling, and then we're gonna do all our political cursing out, telling people off on MamaFlip slots, MamaFlip Live. So if you guys don't want to hear me cussing out all kind of GOP, Trump supporters and giving them my opinion, then you shouldn't join MamaFlip Live. But please join MamaFlip slot channel, because we're gonna have a bunch of fun and we're gonna meet a bunch of people. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to be in a picture with somebody wearing a Trump supporter hat or wearing that gold sneaker. I don't know if I've evolved to that level, but I'm not wearing a Hillary Clinton Biden t-shirt either. I'll do that. So we'll see. So that's my long way of saying welcome to my new channel, MamaFlip Live, episode 1. So I told you guys about that. So my first comment is about, it's going to be a very interesting conversation. So there's been a lot of situations going on in politics, especially when it comes to the Democrats. There's been a lot of stuff going on with the Democrats lately. And one of the things that I found interesting is the fact that what I started paying attention to is that there's been a lot of Democrats who change parties. Some of them say that, they're conservatives, they're conservative Democrats, and they felt that they need to change the party to become a Republican because their community became heavily Republicans. Others say they don't. The Democratic Party no longer holds their views, and then their opinion is not really giving the support to the people that they need in their community. You know, I just find it interesting because I think, in my opinion, is a power play, right? Because you know whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, in my opinion. You know what you believe. Like, yeah, things could change. Like, something could have happened to you where, for example, there's been people who's been Trump supporters, and then all of a sudden, because of everything that happened with Trump, they're like, hell no, I'm never a Trumper again. I will never be. So things like that could happen. But those people are generally Trump supporters, GOP, to regular GOP or independent. it's kind of rare for them to be a strong Trump supporter unless something very tragic happened and go straight to Democrat, right? They would really like segue a little bit out of it. Like, I'll go this far, but I won't go this far. You know what I mean? So then I started noticing again that a lot of the Democrat people who ran for office are now, not a lot, a few of them went to GOP. I went into the website and I was looking at an article because I wanted to see who they were. So give me a second. Yeah, let me save this. I want to bring it up so I could just show you guys the article I was looking at, and I could name a couple of people who I was like, oh, so this is not nothing. This is not new. It seemed like it's happening a lot more than it used to. Apparently it always happened, but now people are really looking at it. There's an article in political.com. I'm going to bring it up. And a lot of time, again, this is all, for YouTube, Instagram. I'm using all of these articles as fair usage. I want to, so I'm using it as fair usage, but I'm only going to show a little bit of it because sometime they would stop me from using it. I have to keep an eye on all the channels to make sure that YouTube doesn't shut the live. In fact, I need to go to my email. Give me 1 second, guys, because YouTube will send me a message to stop using certain content. And sometime if I'm not on here, I'm not going to see it. Okay, so I'm here. Okay, great. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see what I'm looking at. Okay, this is what I'm looking at. Here we go, guys. It says trading places. More lawmakers are swapping political parties. They say in 5 state lawmakers traded their Democratic credentials for GOP this season. This article was done since last year, August 9th, 2023. It talks about several political people who switched over. You have a West Virginia lawmaker, North Carolina lawmaker. You have some pictures here. Yeah, and let's just go over it through really quickly because I don't want this woman right here, and I don't want to, stress myself and get cussed out by YouTube. So I'm gonna stop it. That's the article, right? And in the article, they said that there are since 1994, 173 state lawmakers have switched channels, which is interesting. 83 of those were Democrat who became Republican. 83, wow. And with just 23 Republicans become Democrats. So it's more people who are Democrat who became Republican, and just like that's 83, and then only 3 Republican become Democrats. So it's more Democrats turning to Republican. And there was Elliot Pritt, which West Virginia lawmaker. You have North Carolina Rep. Trisha Gotham, which actually this person, because they became a Republican, they got super majority control, allowed them to enact a conservative goal, like for 12-week ban on most abortions. And a lot of these people, it seemed like, it's been happening since 1994, but it's becoming more of a thing now because of the Roe v. Wade bill that the current Supreme Court actually demolished. Roe v. Wade. Then you have a Louisiana representative, Rep. Francis Thomas, who served as a Democrat for nearly 50 years. He became a Republican in March. I guess that was in 2023. That gave the Republican a supermajority in another chamber, and ability to override the veto for Democratic Governor John Peel Edwards at the time. Then you have Jeremy Lacombe, Speech Party delivering, they say, the latest punch to the Democratic Party in the South. A lot of it is in the South. And then you have Georgia Rep. Misha Maynor, another Democrat who became a registered Republican last month. Again, this article was 2023. The article, Maynor switch to GOP, make her the only Black lawmaker among Republican legislators in the state. So she's a Black legislator. So a lot of these people, and this article goes back to August 2023. I haven't really gone, because I actually just put in, Democrats flipping to Republicans and stuff like that. So I haven't tried it. We just started 2024, so I haven't really looked into 2024, but I looked at 2023 because I started noticing it, and they were talking about it in the news, so I knew it was something. Right? Give me a second, guys. I'm talking, but I just want to, So I noticed that this is the kind of thing that's been going on with these people. They are deciding all of a sudden they want to become a Republican for their own reasons, whether it's because they believe in the pro-life issue, or whether they strongly believe Donald Trump is Jesus Christ that's going to come and and save the world, or whether they believe the election was lost, or whatever their opinion is, they want, or it could be anything very political, like meaning that their area, because of the maps, because of people moving in, has become more Republican. And because they become more Republican, even though they are conservative Democrats, right, which is the thing, right? You could be a Democrat and still be a conservative. They feel that they're not going to win. So what they did is they decided, I'm going to change to be a GOP, right? Because I know these people are not going to vote for a Democrat. They're going to vote for a Republican. So they switch in order to continue to get the vote, which is about power, right? Of course, in the article, there was some Republicans leadership that would say, hey, keep an eye out for these Dems who's wearing these Dems who's trying to wear the Republican clothes, because they're liars, right? They only come in there just to be powers, but they're going to still vote for the Democratic Party. I think it's the opposite. I think because you know who you are at heart. Now, there's a lot of people who don't care about politics, right? They care about living their lives. I was like that before I started becoming political. Live my life. I was going to work, going to school, raising my boys. You know what I mean? I didn't have time for politics. I had to survive out there. I had to get an education. But when I started getting into politics, then I started realizing, like, wow, there's so much we don't know about politics. And I find myself like really surprised when I have conversation with people and they really don't care about politics. Because don't get it twisted. A lot of these people out here don't care about politics. They really don't. They don't care about politics because it really don't impact them. They don't care about politics because it really don't impact them, my friends. And it hurts my feelings. And it hurts a lot of people's feelings. Because I'm out here spending my time and energy fighting for causes because I think it's going to make our community better. And you really don't give a damn. It's like, what politics? They're all the same. That's why I hear they're all the same. They're all the same. Democrat, Republican, they're all the same. What the hell we care? What we care about what they're doing? The prices are up, the groceries are up, the gas is up. It was up before. It was up. It was up at every different presidency. Nothing is better. They're not really doing anything. They're a bunch of liars. They're crooks. Blah 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 blah. I hear it all. But yet people complain. They don't care about politics. They don't care about voting. They don't care about marching. They don't care about fighting for their rights. They don't care about nothing. But they complain, right? They complain because nobody could do anything for them. Everybody's about some bullshit. That's what they feel. So when I started seeing the switch as far as people changing political parties, I'm like, ain't this a bitch? How do you not know whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican? How do you not know that at your core you have a certain belief that nothing is going to change that belief? Like I believe in pro rights, right? I believe the LGBTQ community should have their right to love whoever they want to love. I believe that Social Security, I work very hard for Social Security. I want to have my Social. When I turn 62, don't take my shit. Don't take my shit. I'm 56 years old. I worked very hard. I've been working since I was about 9 years old. The nerve that you think that you have a right as a political a political party to come and tell me that Social Security is a socialistic type of payment, that we don't have a right to our Social Security check. Have you lost your goddamn mind? I worked. I'm waiting to retire at 62. And when I retire, I want my Social Security check. I worked for that crap. Just like I work for everything else in my life. How dare you tell me that I do not have a right to my Social Security check? Are you crazy? That's how I feel. But then you have a lot of people who are GOP or Trump supporters who's not really listening to that message. They're not listening to the GOP want to take away your Social Security check because you're not listening, because you don't care, because that hasn't impacted you yet. They keep talking in circles about taking your Social Security, taking away Obamacare, right? Obamacare saved me. The boys, when the boys turned, the boys meaning Queen's Flip and Teddy, Chef Teddy, which is Theodore, when they turned 18, 19, they weren't in college. So their health insurance lapsed. I couldn't afford to pay for health insurance for those. I couldn't afford it. It was like $600 additional something dollars a month to add them into a family plan. I couldn't afford that. So they didn't have health insurance. So thank God Obamacare came. And what is it called? Because they don't like to call it Obamacare. So let me make sure that I give it the name that they like to call it. Give me 1 second. Okay, Obamacare is called Affordable. What is it? What is it called? Affordable. Hold on. Care Act. They like to call it a Affordable Care Act, but they don't want to call it Obamacare. It's Obamacare, my friends. They don't like calling it Obamacare, right? But thank God we had Obamacare for me and my family, because it was able to give the boys their health coverage. They was able to see the dental, eye doctor. They were able, if they got sick, they were able to go to the doctor. They didn't have to go to the emergency room and beg for services because they didn't have health coverage until they were like 25, 26, which gave them enough time in order to get a job and get what they had to do in order to be able to be independent. That thing saved a lot of us, right? And a lot more people are getting it, even the opposing sides who hates everything Democratic. They getting that. And one of the biggest thing that I found enjoyable is even during the Donald Trump era, when a lot of them were actually going to the Congress office, GOP offices, sitting there. It didn't matter which political party. The fact that you were trying to take away their healthcare coverage, they weren't having it. Now that I have it, don't take away. It was both political parties was out there fighting for it, and we still have it, thank God. Obviously, one of the political senators who passed away, McCain, was the deciding vote, and thank God, God rest his soul, he kept it. And then it's interesting that that he kept it at the last leg of his life, but he realized how important it was that everybody have health coverage, and he kept it. So I said this. So how do you not know what you are? So I don't think, in my opinion, that someone is a Democrat and become a Republican because they feel that the party does not uphold their belief. Unless you really are conservative who believes in pro-life, right? Which even that doesn't make sense to me, because if you're a Democrat, you always knew that Democrat was pro-choice. So how is it now, after Roe v. Wade is over, that became your issue, that now you pro-life? It doesn't make sense to me, being a Democrat and you turn Republican. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't really make sense to me that if you're a Republican, you become a Democrat either. Unless something really horrific happened, you're like, this is about some bullshit. I guess I'm more inclined to be like, I guess it's because I'm a Democrat. I'm more inclined to believe a Republican would turn Democrat because of what happened in their lives. For example, let's say as a Republican, right, you fought for pro-life your entire life, and then your daughter or somebody in your family got pregnant for whatever reason. Something horrific happened, and they needed to, unfortunately, they couldn't carry the pregnancy, the term, or something happened to the pregnancy, and all these laws are in place preventing them from getting the health care that they need, and they almost died because of these laws. And you're like, or you were a Trump supporter, Republican, and you saw everything that Trump did, and he's doing away with democracy, and you saw the January 6th, and you're like, oh, hell no, I can't affiliate with those people. I could see that change because something big happened, something huge, dramatic happened. Donald Trump came into play, January 6th came into play, they did away with Roe v. Wade. I could see that, like, okay, something, I gotta leave this party because this party is going crazy. I personally, as a Democrat, cannot see the other way around, but I could see this way. But again, I could just be biased. I could just say, okay, I'm being biased. I'm being unfair. But then you have, in our community, you start working the political circles, and you start being more impact in your, because I was a gun violence advocate. So I used to do a lot I still do a lot of gun violence prevention work, but more of a national level, state level, city level, federal level. I used to travel around, but now that I'm doing more community level work, I start looking around and seeing what people are doing. And I'm finding it that there are now some Democratic representative in my community that's wearing the Democratic cloth. And I say cloth. I was trying to say cloak, but I put cloth. Yet they're voting everything Republican. You have a representative in the community, and it's a female, and I've been watching her. And I'm just trying to figure out where she's going with this. Because I didn't know who she was originally. Because again, I used to do a lot of gun violence prevention work, and I work with everyone that had anything to do with gun violence, whatever your political party, as long as you wanted to stop gun violence, we're good, And not too many, Trump supporters cared about stuff. Hardcore GOP who believes in Second Amendment, they didn't care about gun violence, but there was some that we could have a conversation, So I really wasn't paying attention to the local, of my area until, I became a community board member and I started focusing and seeing what my community need. And one of the shocking, let me put a pin on that. One of the shocking thing that I realized when I became a community board member in my community, that half is Trump supporters. It's the craziest thing. I can't believe I fall into something where I have to deal with Trump supporters almost on a daily basis. It's crazy. My community have a large contingency of Trump supporters in my community. We have everybody else, we have Trump supporters. And one thing I have to tell you, though, in all honesty for myself, because I don't want to come up as a complete asshole. I also, during the time that Trump was, took hold, the Trump era, I was also an American Red Cross volunteer. I still am. Long time American Red Cross volunteer if they need me, but I'm on hold. I only come out when there's really something huge happens, and I will go in and I'll become a disaster action team member, and I will man a shelter, drive an herb, I'm one of those high level volunteer, but I only go in. I'm like a reserve. That's what I am. I'm a DAT reserve team, meaning that I only come out when there's something really big because there's so much stuff going on, right? And they have volunteers. So anyway, and the funny thing is that when the hurricane happened not too long ago, there was a hurricane that impacted Westchester, and the houses really got impacted. Was it Irina? Okay, hold on. I want to see. It's a hurricane. 2018, 2019? 2019, New York, Westchester County. Let me see if that was the one, because this was really, it really impacted in New Yorkers, Westchester, 30,000. Yeah, northeastern. It wasn't the cyclone Hurricane Ida. It was Hurricane Ida. I think it was Hurricane Ida. That's what I'm looking at. And when I went up there to Westchester, guys, most of the people there was you could tell who they were. You could just tell. You could tell the flags. You could tell and there. It was devastating. It was as bad as when Sandy happened in Long Island City near the Rockaways, where it completely destroyed these people's houses, guys. I went into the neighborhood, their houses, it was like Sandy. The waters went into the house, destroyed. You had whole furnitures. I remember going into the areas as that team, that's disaster access team, seeing baby clothes out there, albums out there, cribs out there. It was that whole area, that Westchester area was devastating. And when I went to volunteer at the shelter, you could see who were coming in. I remember that there was this one woman who came in. She was Caucasian and she was a little older than me, and she was shocked. She was like, oh my God, she was shocked. And she was like, oh my God. And I could just tell, I'm not saying I could tell whether she was GOP or Democrat. I'm not saying that. But I could tell the way she was looking around that she felt uber uncomfortable to be there. Like uber. Now, you know, when you have a crisis, like you react certain ways. You either in shock or you humble or you need help or, you know, but I don't think I've ever met someone who really did not want to be there. Like really did. And it was the shelter we had was at a school in Westchester. It was in their neighborhood. It wasn't like anybody's neighborhood. Like it wasn't as if we took her to East New York. Right, where there was a bunch of black people that standing there. It wasn't like that. We were in the middle. It was a school right in Westchester, right in that area where shelter is. But you could tell that she was not comfortable. There was nothing comfortable about that woman. No, she wasn't comfortable. When she sat down, she hardly wanted to speak to me, and I was the supervisor of the shelter, so she had to speak to me. Right? I welcomed in, asked if she wanted anything. Please have a seat, and I said, please go into check-in and stuff like that, and I offer all kind of help. This woman sat there, and I think her son came in, either son or nephew came in and stuff like that, and she just couldn't get comfortable. And she looked at it, and the way she was looking at me, and she was talking to him, and she went to the side, but you could still hear him. She's like, I can't stay here. He's like, you gotta stay here. Mom, I mean, I forgot if he said mom or whatever, but you gotta stay here. She's like, you gotta get me out of here. You gotta get me out of here. You gotta get me out of here. And to me, it didn't click what was going on, because I'm like, okay, it was right after the storm. Like the whole area was flooded. Like I think I got there like 2 days later when the water receded, but that whole area was covered with water. She couldn't go back to her house, right? She could not go back to her house. I guess a lot of hotels was ready to go, but I could just see the intensity of her conversation. She said, you can't leave me here. You can't leave me here. You can't leave me here. I was like, wow. And she sat down for a little while. He's like, I'll be back. And then after that, he went outside, and then he came back and he said, okay, I just spoke to, because it's my shelter. I have to pay attention to what everybody is going through. You understand? She said, I just spoke to him. He was able to find a room for you, but it's like an hour and a half away. So let's go. And he said, thank you very much for your support and helping, but we're going to go somewhere. And she left. And that was the most interesting interaction to me. Like she really couldn't do it. And I don't know if she couldn't do it because she was dealing with me as a black woman, or because she looked inside and she saw different people, because it was different people inside. We had a black family in there. We had different cultures in there. We had a white family in there. Or maybe it was just the image of being at a shelter. I don't know what it was about, but she panicked. And when she did that, I was like, wow, okay. All right. This is what I'm doing. And I didn't miss a beat. I didn't treat her any different than anybody else. She was there to get support. If she wanted to leave, she could have left. They got her place. And even before when she left, guess what? I gave her, because we have to give them a care package. Even when she left, I gave her a care package, toothbrush, toothpaste, or a change of clothes. I gave her and them. I said, here, please take that with you wherever you go, and best of luck. And she said, thank you very much. She was very nice. Don't get me wrong. Even though she was acting very weird and looking at me like I'm crazy, she was very appreciative. And she said, thank you very much. Thank you for helping. And she left. That, and then going around and looking and seeing the area and the flags and the different things and the officer's flag, like don't tread on me flags and stuff like that. Area was really populated with Trump supporters, GOP. You could just tell. And I was there to support them and help them in any way possible, because I did not care whether you're a Trump supporter or not. The fact is, you need my help, and you're going to get my help no matter what. And that was in 2019. So now I'm a community board member in the middle of a community that has, look to me, at least half is Trump supporters or GOP and half is everybody else. And I'm the community board. Wow, it's interesting. But the fact of the matter is, I'm here to help. I'm here to do the job, because I don't care what your political view. And it's a big jump from 2016, 2017, 2018. As long as you don't disrespect me, if you need help from me as a community board member, I'm going to help you, period. Because that's my role. That's always been my role as an advocate, to help anybody who needs help anyway. But it's currently my role because that's what I signed up for. So as long as you're not disrespectful for me, I'm not going to be disrespectful for you. We don't have to have any political fight unless you're in my face. And that did happen one meeting, and I'll talk about it in a few minutes. Other than that, I'm going to be a supporter of you. I'm going to help you, right? So now let's go back to this political representative. So I was very new as a community board member. And then the big issue was the immigrant. And I did a live. The live is still on Instagram. If you go on my live, you'll see one of my first community board member meetings. I was concerned when I left my advocacy role to become a community board member that I would have to change. Because some people was like, oh, you can't continue to be who you are. Because I'm very boisterous. Guys, I'm on live. The kids are here. I'm very boisterous, very opinionated, and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to be more disciplined. I'm gonna have to be more diplomatic in my response and dealing with people, because I am a community. I'm the helper of all. I've always been a helper of all, but I really need to really calm my nerves when it comes to people different views, right? But when I went to the first meeting and everybody was being themselves, and I was like, oh, I found myself. I don't have to be any different. That's how we do it. We yelling at each other and giving our opinions and showing our entire behind. Oh, I love this. I'm home. I don't have to change who I am. I could just really be who I am. So I love the board because we are who we are. We have a new board leader now, Naomi. I always pronounce her name wrong. Naomi, I believe she's our new president. So she's trying to bring decorum into the community board. So I'm kind of a little bit quiet. I'm trying to find my way. But the previous president, I loved him, even though he was controversial, named Michael. He ran a very lively board because everybody had a way to say whatever they had to say. With Naomi, she's kind of changing things up and bringing back the decorum and professionalism of the board. I don't know how well I'm going to fit into it, but I've been, pretty quiet. I'm watching. But one of the first few meetings was a representative came in, and she came in with a bunch of Trump supporters because she was fighting the immigrant issue. Now, I really didn't pay attention to her because I knew the immigrant issue was a very sore point in Brooklyn, especially in this area. They wanted to bring the immigrants over to Floyd Bennett Field over here. And they said that area wasn't good enough to put in immigrants because there was no housing or anything. They were building temporary housing. There's no transportation. How are they going to eat, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I got it. I mean, they have a valid point. One of the things they didn't talk about is fact is that when I was a reservist, that was my barrack over there. When I was a reservist, I had to train at Floyd Bennett Field. So I don't understand, in my opinion, why Floyd Bennett Field was good enough for us veterans and our military personnel and our reservists. When we were housed over there, we had to train over there. We had to do a bunch of things at Floyd Bennett Field. But yet, many years later, it's not good enough for immigrants, right? But that's okay. Hey, that's your thing. That's your thing. So she had that issue. So she was fighting against the governor. She was fighting against the mayor. And again, I wasn't paying attention because everybody have their views about the immigrants. What I did not like is the fact that they were making the immigrants sort of like the welfare mom of back in my days. And the welfare is called public assistance now, but back in the days it was welfare, where if you didn't make enough money, you used to get support, food stamp money, rent money. It's still the same thing from your government. They used to call these mothers welfare moms, and the blame mostly fell on the women because they're the one that was having the kids, and they were the one that was getting the welfare money, and they were disrespected and treated like crap. They were treated as if they were lazy. They were the blame for everything wrong in our community. Oh, if we didn't have to pay for welfare, we'll have this. Oh, if we didn't have to pay for welfare, we had that. All bullshit back in the days. All bullshit. And I feel that they're doing the same thing with immigrants now. Like everything that we're not getting in the community is because of the immigrants. I'm not saying that services are and funding and other things are not being impacted by the immigrants. That's not what I'm saying. I know everything is being impacted. What I'm saying is that the services that we weren't getting beforehand, that we were fighting beforehand, we need to continue to fight for those services and not blame the immigrants. That's what I'm saying. If you were concerned about gun violence beforehand, because they were killing us, our children, and our kids wasn't safe in school beforehand. Guess what? It's the same thing that's happening even if the immigrant was there. If the groceries was more expensive before the immigrants came in and we couldn't afford the groceries, it's the same as it is right now. You understand what I'm saying? The immigrants made the issue more focused. You know, it made the issue like more explosive. Like people are more like focused, like more nervous because I'm not getting this, but you can't blame the immigrants for the problems that we already had. And if you want to fight for your rights and you want to fight for services, then continue to fight it without placing the blame on someone else. I don't like that. And what this particular person was doing was blaming the immigrants. And then after that, after she started blaming the immigrants, then she started blaming all the political parties about why the immigrants were in New York City. And it took me a while to understand this because, you know, I'm not saying I'm a political person, but I'm not. I can never tell you that I have the one-on-one in everything politics. I am a regular Black woman in Brooklyn, doing my best, living my best life. So I don't know every issue, every point. I just know things that I see and hear and feel. According to my understanding, and I could get it wrong, you have Texas and Florida, especially Texas, who has a border community. The immigrants come from the southern border. They come into Texas, right? Between governor of Florida, Sanchez, and governor of Texas, Abbott, they decide they want to put all these people in a bus and take them to the blue state. And at first, the blue state mayors and stuff like was welcome them in and stuff like that. We'll handle them because we are sanctuary. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. State. We will accept them. And then it became a lot. And now a lot of these political leaders and like, okay, hold up. We need funding. We need federal government to step in because we can't continue this because we're replenishing everything and we need help. We need help. We need help. That's what's happening right now. But as far as I know, the problem happened because these people was coming into their town and they put them in ship and they send them to the bus to our blue state, to New York and to Chicago and to all the blue states. So now you have these political leaders, especially the GOP, saying to do something, especially the ones in New York. Oh, they're famous. Oh, you got to do something. You got to do something. You got to do something. They come into our community. They're taking our resources. They're frightening our kids. They're using our facilities. They're ungrateful. They're doing this and that. I heard it all. And I started paying attention because, you know, something, I'm the type of person that anybody that needs my help, I'm going to help. Whether you're an immigrant or not, I'm going to help you. Guys, I'm going to still talk, but I'm going to hide the camera. Hold on. I'm going to still help you. So whether you are an immigrant or regular person, gun violence, whatever, veteran, if I can help, I can help. But I was just watching this woman and just trying to figure out who she is, because what's going on, because she's a brown woman. Not only she's a brown woman, according to my understanding, she wasn't born, either she wasn't born in the United States or her family wasn't born in the United States, because she has an accent just like I'm the first generation Haitian. I don't know if she's a first generation Trini, West Indian. She's a first generation something, unless she came here, she's a first generation. So I found it very interesting that she's either a first generation or she came from wherever West Indian country and she became a United States citizen, that she has such a disdain for the immigrants. Like, it's like you could just tell when somebody just have a disdain for somebody, because you would give narratives like, oh, you know, it's not that I have anything against them, you know, but I want them to come in the country the right way. What is the right way for people who's trying to escape poverty and danger, and who traveled millions of miles to escape being killed and murdered, when everybody know in the United States of America, this has been happening for centuries, where people come here to get help? What is the right way? The right way is to go through the immigrant system, fill out an application, see a lawyer, come in. But what if that's being held up? What if there's political party that's holding them up and these people are desperately trying to come to save their lives and their kids' life? What do we do that? But that's okay. She didn't care about that. Okay, I get it. Not my problem. It's like, it's not our problem. We're helping people who's already here, who came here through the right way. I heard that. I'm like, this sounds a little racist to me. I'm surprised. It sounds a little, I'm detecting a little like a little tinge of, I'm a little, And then she started talking about how how dangerous they were. I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, and then they come into our schools, and I'm gonna put a law. And then she put a lawsuit in. I'm gonna put a lawsuit in because they come into our school and our kids don't feel safe. Because who are they? Who are they? Are they going through investigation? Are we doing background checks on them? I'm like, oh, okay. I'm getting a little bit more. It's beginning to sound a little bit more racist to me. So you see black and brown bodies come into our community, and you're afraid that they're criminals and they're murderers, just like Donald Trump. That's what I got from the comment of hearing the conversation. But other people in the community came in. There was a father who brought 3 kids, and he's like, I'm concerned because I don't know where these men are coming from. And they focus on the men. They don't focus on the women and the children that's coming in. I have to be fair. They focus on the men. And I don't want them around my kids. So I'm listening. And this is another black male that's living in the community who's saying that. So I'm here. I'm open. Again, this is not the Marie of 2016, 27, 2018. This is Marie of 2024, 2023, 24. I'm opening. My eyes is open. I'm listening. I'm becoming more aware. I'm understanding that my views is not the only views. The opposing views, they feel the same way about their people and their issues. So I'm being open. But I'm like, okay, so I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. And then there was a public hearing. And this woman tried to pull a fast one because her people brought in this black guy, a brown guy with an accent. And he threatened one of my people. And I felt, I got pissed. Because that guy came within 3 feet of my representative. It was in her face. And I almost jumped. If you look at the video, because I have the live still, you could see me saying, if he jumps, I jump. And it's so funny that Naomi, who's the president now, she had to tap me in the leg and say, stop. I'm like, no, I'm not going to stop. He jumps, I jump. Who the fuck you think he is? Coming in her face like that. It turned around when I followed the guy outside. I realized who he was hanging around with. And I believe that she and her people brought this guy in to antagonize my people. And not only that, there were a large group of Trump supporters at that meeting. And what they were saying was extremely, in my opinion, racist. In my opinion. To the point where one woman was like, I'm not being racist. Whereas 2 of my representatives was like, yeah, you are. You sounded racist. I didn't even say it. I wasn't talking. I did say something where I was like, I'm a federal veteran, because there were veterans there. It's like, as a veteran, and I served my country, and I'm saying I'm demanding that they go back. I'm like, yo, whoa. I'm a veteran. I served my country. I'm a Marine, former Marine. I want to know what we could do to help them. I mean, where are we sending them back to? And that was the question. Where are we sending these people back to? You want us to put them in a bus to go where? Where are we sending them? First of all, we're not allowed to put them in the bus to send them back. If we send them back to Texas, they're going to send them back. What are we doing? Hot potato? What are we doing? And then we find out that they said all this time, these people, that public hearing was wild, was an eye-opening. I was shocked. I'm like, oh, wow, we doing this. To me, I was like, we doing this. You had these people, these people in there talking about, we don't care where they come from. We blame Biden. We hate Biden. He's a criminal. He's a crime. He did this on purpose. He's the one that brought these people in. He's the one that did this. He opened up the border and let the people come in. And we don't know who they are. And they're all here to take our resources. And they're criminals and they're criming and they're doing that and stuff like that. And then she comes in. She's like, oh, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I really care about them. And I don't think that they should be at Floyd Bennett Field, because we need to be able to place them somewhere where they could get the support and put it in Floyd Bennett Field. There's no water. There's no this. They'll be in danger. So we asked her, where should we put them? It was a very simple question. Because we already, according to the mayor, according to everyone, the political leaders, we already used up all of our resources. We used up a lot of hotels, a lot of the empty rooms. We're asking for volunteers to shelter them. We ran out of space, so we're creating this temporary housing for. What do you want us to do when we are a sanctuary country, a sanctuary state, where we say we welcome that you're hungry, you're poor, you're needy, to come here to the United States and we'll support you. What do you want us to do? The laws do not allow us to ship them back. We can't fly them. We can't turn them over to ICE because our sanctuary law does not allow us to turn them into ISIS, shift them down. We're trying to get the federal government to help support us. What do you want us to do? What I'm hearing, that send them back. That's what I heard. Send them back where? You want us to send them back where? And why are you, as a black woman who obviously is either immigrant yourself or first generation, if not second generation, United States citizen, have such a disrespect and disdain for these people who try to come here to make things better? Why? Why is that? But that's her. That's how she feels. That's how she came on my radar. Because I felt that she was being political. She was being an a-hole. And then she was talking about how it was her birthday, and for her birthday, she did a lawsuit because Governor Hochul was not paying attention to the immigrant issue. Blah 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 blah. She did all that. She was on all her bullshit. But I didn't know the woman. I didn't know her. I didn't know who she was, what she was about. I didn't know nothing about her. I just was looking at her, and I didn't have no issue with this woman until she played that play at the public hearing, because I knew that guy. I haven't seen that guy since. But him and I have conversations. Me and him had a little cursing out in the hallway. It's on my live where I told him to go F himself, right? Because he approached me. He came on my face. He's like, "Hey, what you talking about?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "What do you have to say?" I said, "What do you have to say?" And I started telling him what I was gonna say inside, like we should do. He's like, "Oh, you don't have no shit to say." I said, "Then get the fuck out of my face." I said, "Because I'm not her. You see, political words or not, I will swing. I will swing on a brother who tried to swing on me. It wasn't even a thing. That's how pissed off I was at it. Completely inappropriate as a political leader. Completely inappropriate as a political leader. I can say that. Completely inappropriate. But he pissed me the hell off. You don't be in my people's face like that, like you about to jump. Your aggression was too much. It's just too much. Anyway, he pissed me off, as you could tell. You could see that I'm still heated, but I'm calm. But ever since that woman, I saw the woman in the news, I found that it was interesting that she had such a disdain. It's even when she tried to talk like, "Oh, I don't have anything against him." You could tell somebody, when somebody say, "I don't have anything against you," you could tell when somebody had disdain. But I didn't know. I really didn't quite know what was it about her that had my gander up, had me in a tizzy, until what she played. And I knew that was her people, because her director that was there, the guy that tried to jump, her director tapped him on the shoulder, and I have it all on video, and they both left the hallway together with the camera. So they have a camera on me. They have film of me showing my eyes. They have film of me, and I have film of them. I saw the whole thing. I took pictures. I'm like, ain't this a bitch? And when I found out that the person that was working with her was her people, I'm like, oh, so this was all a setup. And I don't like setup. I don't like setups. If you want to say what you want to say, you want to be who you want to be, you want to do what you want to do, you stand on that. But don't play games. I don't like games because I don't play games. I'm very direct and very thing. So when I saw her do that, I was pissed. It's trying me. So ever since I've seen her, I'm just watching her play and see how she's doing her thing. But I'm like, okay, fine. All right. She's a political leader. She's running again. Okay, fine. And then I recently figured out that she supported the Republican Party on voting to keep a map. So right now, I'm still learning about it. There's been some controversy on the congressional maps that's been written up in our community, right? So they all decided they were going to vote for independent party to recreate the map because the Republican Party had too much. The Democrat felt the Republican Party map was too nonpartisan, was in favor of them. Then after that, the independent person did a map, and now the Republican was like, no, we don't want that map. We don't want that map because it looks too much in line for the Democrats. So I'm going to bring up the article so you guys can see it, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Give me 1 second. And okay. So it's called New York Dem Toss Bipartisan Congressional Map, right? What do you want to know about the New York housing map? So right now, it looked like they all came into agreement, and there's a map that's in place. The map was in fact going to interfere with the actual June primary scene. But again, I'm not a political leader. I'm just watching this person in play, right? So let's go here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And again, I never knew this woman before, and this woman has been in office for many years, probably in my community, because I lived in this community for almost 18 years, and I never knew it much. She hasn't been the representative 18 years, but you know what I'm saying. So here's the article. What to know about the latest New York City map, right? New York City passed new congressional lines this week that will offer some clarity to candidate and voters alike on what the House map looked like after a protracted redistricting battle. So you have this, right? They say the governor signed a map drawn by state legislature into law Wednesday, which offers slight change to the handful of seats and give Democrats a slight. So the Democrats still have a slight edge, they say. But a few weeks ago now, this is one article, but a few weeks ago now, they were happy that the map that was submitted by the Independent Party was pulled. Let me get that article. Hold on. Let me see. Can I get this one? Is it this one? Let me see. I'm going to show you this article right here. And to do YouTube, Instagram, I am using this due to fair usage. Okay, so right here. So I'm going to share this article. All right, and I had to read into, and the reason why, again, I became interested is because this woman is involved, right? Like, also it impacts my community. So it's right here. And this article is from City and State New York. It talks about New York Dem tossed bipartisan congressional map, right? So they were talking about this, right? The bipartisan map, Democrats 2-4, then rejected, right? They talk about they sued. They say the bipartisan independent redistricting commission vote 9-1 in favor of the map that lawmakers voted down on Monday ahead of 22 midterm. One Democrat from and one Republican, and the commissioner failed to agree on a single map and says send the legislature two map, one from Democrat and one from Republican. The lawmakers rejected the map. Let's say Democrat then attempted to gendermender the lines, but their map was thrown out. So now they're accused, instead of accusing the Republican of gendermandering, now they included the Democrats of gendermandering. So they threw out the map. But then they say the Democrats then successfully sued to return the process to the Independent Redistricting Commission on 2024 maps, right? So the Republican lambasted Democrat for rejecting the map that experts from both parties agreed upon through independent redistricting. So you have all of this stuff going back and forth with the map, right? My thing is, when I started reading this article, because I don't understand the different maps of what was really going on. I'm like, okay, so there's a map that's being redrawn so that everyone will know who they could actually go and seek votes for. That's as simple as I could make it, right? And depending on how you draw the map, you could either have more Democratic-leaning constituents in your area versus another, right? So they go back and forth. Even Hakeem Jeffries is involved and everything like that. It goes back. And then I look and I see that our friend, the same person that I've been talking about, voted with the Republicans. This representative voted with the Republicans on this particular map issue. And I'm looking, I'm like, yo, what? The Assembly rejected IRC map 47-99. Only one Assembly member who's a Democrat voted in favor of the map with the Republicans. Only one. So now you have the second thing now. So you have the second thing with this woman. So first is you fighting, you're attacking your fellow Democratic representative over the immigrants issue. You filed a lawsuit against a Democratic governor and a Democratic mayor, and now you're voting with the Republican on the map issue. Okay? So that's second. Now, third now, this particular person who signed for the sanctuary law. Okay, let's look at the sanctuary law. Because we got a sanctuary law when sanctuary law in New York, right? All right, sanctuary law in New York. Let's look at it. I just want to make sure what an immigration law. The state of New York does not apply specific regulation about New York. I want to know what sanctuary jurisdiction. What is sanctuary jurisdiction? Okay, what is sanctuary? It's really understood. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's just look what the sanctuary jurisdiction is real quick. Hold on. I just want to show you guys. Again, I'm using this with fair usage. Says so. What is a sanctuary jurisdiction? A sanctuary jurisdiction is generally understood to be a city, town, country, or state that has policy of protecting undocumented immigrants by not prosecuting them for violating of federal immigration law. There is no agreement upon definition of sanctuary jurisdiction, but pretty much you are protecting undocumented immigrants and you can't prosecute them. That's sanctuary law. This particular representative signed the sanctuary law in 2017. I think it was 2017. This particular person signed the sanctuary law saying that we have to protect undocumented people and you can't just push them out and you have to accept it. There was a bill that was in place. That person's signature is on it. Now, this particular person is signing with the Republicans, right? To get rid of that law, to change the law and allow New York no longer to be a sanctuary state. That representative has a right to do whatever she want to do. Even if I disagree, even I think she's foul. I didn't like the setup that happened at the public hearing. I thought that was foul. I thought that was played out. I thought that was cowardly. But she has a right to her opinion on different matters as long as it doesn't directly hurt anybody. I think she's hurting undocumented immigrants here, but she has a right to her thoughts and how she wants to move. My thing about this woman is, if you want to be with the Republican, then become a Republican. If you want to be, why are you acting like a Democrat? Why are you a Republican wearing a Democratic cloth? Why? You voted for the Republicans with the Republicans. You're bringing Republicans into the political parties. You disrespecting all the Democrats. I don't know what you're doing for our community because I've been watching you for quite a while now. I've been watching to see what you're doing. There's certain housing issues that's happening here in our community that has nothing to do with the immigrants. There's certain services that's needed in our community that has nothing to do with immigrants. I haven't heard one serious good thing about you. I read that when you used to fight against HIV, which was a great cause. But other than that, I haven't seen anything, and I'm sitting here watching. All I see is you took it upon yourself to make this immigrant issue such a powerful issue with you. The congressional map, such a powerful issue because you feel that the Trump supporting people in this neighborhood and they crying your name out because I heard them like, yeah. I heard them. They came out for you. You feel that they're going to help you win this seat because you pissed off a lot of the Dems because a lot of the Dems are looking at you and wondering, are you really a Democrat? And I'm saying to you, if you're not a Democrat, then leave the Democrat Party. We don't have time for BS. We don't have time for people snaking behind Dems' back. We don't have time for Democrats trying to play up to the Republican. We don't have time for Democrats to suddenly switch parties in the last minute in order to screw things up. We don't have time for this. We don't have time for this. And we have one in my community that's playing games. She's playing games. And I don't understand why. We see you. We see what you're doing, man. Everybody has a right to believe what they have a right to believe. If you're a Republican, you have a right to believe what you want to believe. I don't like it, but you have a right. If you're a Trump supporter, you have a right to believe in your orange Jesus. You want to support his 91 conviction? You think that he's innocent? You do you. I'll do me. I get that. But don't be a snake about it. If you enjoy that piece of shit, then you support your piece of shit and let me enjoy mine. Because I don't think mine is a piece of shit. I think he's a great guy, but I'm going to support him. You do your thing. But don't hide and act like if you're a Democrat when you're really a Republican. Stop playing with us. Stop playing these mind games with us because we have no more time for the bullshit. We have no more time for the bullshit. And this particular representative, I'm not going to say her name, but you guys can look her up in my community. She know who she is. If she hear me talking about it, she know who she is. And if you guys do research, you know who she is. She needs to stop with the bullshit. Be who you are. You want to be a Republican. That's who you want to be. That's who you are. I swear to you, I'm waiting for you to make a pro-choice, pro-life decision. That's what I'm waiting for. Because according to articles, they say you're a conservative Democrat. I still don't understand what conservative Democrat even means, to be honest with you. But okay, because I'm not a progressive Democrat. I'm probably more centrist, between progressive and more center. Not really a center, but I'm sort of in the middle, like between progressive and I'm not a Bernie. I'm a Hillary. But you know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit more on the progressive side than most of my people that I hang out with. So I get it. But if you're going to carry the Republicans' water, then become a Republican. Stop playing games. And don't use the MAGA people, the GOP, to run your water, because that's exactly what it looks like to me. A lot of people is paying attention. And this particular person may win the election again. Who knows? Unless somebody run against them, they may win again. But people are watching and people are paying attention. And you need to start paying attention to your community. Because I really don't know if I don't trust this person. I don't trust this person. And right now we need all the Democratic people to come together, because even I'm listening to the influencers, I'm listening to the podcast, I'm listening to people, and everyone is talking about Donald Trump again. Some of these people are talking about how Donald Trump, there's going to be a new era of Donald Trump. Some people are actually making excuses or even disrespecting Biden after everything he's done, and actually considering the orange Jesus, because I don't think I've ever thought I live in this. It's just sometimes you see movies. If you go back in the days and they talk about how, if you look at all those movies about how they felt that the world is going to end at this particular time and stuff like that, or you look at the documentary about what happened in Russia when they killed the Tsar and all his kids, you remember? And then what happened during the French Revolution and what happened, the Nazi and stuff like that, during the Nazi camp and stuff like that. When you look at all these documentaries, you could never believe that in your time that something like this could happen. You could never believe. I'm like, how the hell did these people allow all this stuff to happen? Didn't they see? Weren't their eyes open? How did you allow this to happen? How did you allow them to persecute these people? You know, the Vietnam Wars, the all these wars. How did you allow to come to such an extent where people were killing people for way before, like from Jesus' time, if you're religious, way before? How do you allow all these things? Egypt, the killing of the Caesar. How do you allow all these things to happen, to kill all these people that become martyrs and heroes, and to kill millions, thousands, millions of people for a belief, for a religion, for something, for power, for how did we allow that to happen? How do we find ourselves in a place in the middle of a dangerous time? How did that happen? How did they allow it? How did they sleep on it? How did they sleep on it to find themselves in the history books as being corrupt, as being murderers, as being as supporting a dictator, of as 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 not taking care of their neighbors, as for the president of being biased, being racist. How did you live through that time? How did it get so bad that, you know, condolences to all my Jewish brothers and sisters, but the Nazis allowed, the people of Germany allowed the Nazis to come and exterminate all those people. How did what happened in Viet Cong, where I was watching a documentary of a serial killer the other day, I forgot his name. I just was watching it, where his cousin is the one that he actually followed, and because of his cousin, he became a serial killer, and his cousin shot his wife in the face. And he was a Vietnam veteran, and he had pictures of all the evil things he did on let's see, he was in California, he was in San Francisco. Let me see. I'm gonna find his name. Mendez, I think. Is it the Zodiac Killer? No, was it him? The Night Stalker. Yes. Why can't I pronounce his name? Ramirez. He was the Night Stalker killer. And this crazy man actually had Richard Ramirez. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce the name. Apparently, they said that he had a cousin, an older cousin, who, when he was young, used to show pictures of the devastating thing he did with Vietnam women, and he used to tell them all the stories. That's what the documentary said. Because I was looking at some documentaries, and it came. Sometimes when you fall asleep, you're watching something, and then YouTube shows you something else. And I woke up to the serial killers documentary. It was crazy. Anyway, so yeah, so they were talking about that, and it just blows my mind of how. It blows my mind, and I know I segue a little bit to that because I was talking about Vietnam and all the horrible things that the soldiers did there. But how did we get to that point where we allowed savagery, disrespect, prejudice, biasness, disgust to come to our country, right? How do we allow ourselves to do that? In every different time, we had some very devastating, tragic stuff happen to that time. And when we go to history book, you look back, it's like, how did France do that? Why did they chop the head of all these rich people? Because of starvation? Yeah, we got it, but why that savagery, right? But then you start talking about all the stuff that happened with our indigenous people when the pilgrims came to this land, and they stole the land, and they killed zillions, millions of indigenous people in order to claim the land. It's been savagery throughout the entire world, and a lot of it is because of power, or because of racism, or because of somebody as minuscule, as limited, as basic, of somebody thinking that they're better than somebody else. That's what it is. The basic underlying, in my opinion, is because somebody believe they're better than somebody else. And now I never thought that I would be now in an environment that could get very close to dictatorship. And if it become a dictatorship, right, how can we guarantee that we will not be another Nazi Germany or another Russia where they just killed Alexius? God bless his soul. God bless his soul that he died. I've been depressed about ever since Alexius. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce the name. Died at that prison. I've been very, like, I don't know why his murder impacted me so much, but I've been very impacted. And just in case you guys don't know who I'm talking about, let me just show you who I'm talking about. I've been extremely impacted by this. his death. Alexia Novolny. Can't even pronounce his name. I can't even pronounce his name. Thousands attending Alexei. His name is Alexei. I'm sorry. Alexei funeral yesterday. This man was so brave, and I'm watching his wife and his beautiful children, and they killed him. They killed him. I'm going to show you who he is. Putin killed this man. All because he went against them. And he proved that Putin was a criminal, a dictator, was a thief, and a liar. This good-looking guy was killed. They tried to kill him several times, and they finally killed him in the prison. And they said he was just the day before he was in, they had him in court and he was joking around, but he knew he was going to die. He always said it. And he was a brave guy. So I'm looking at Alexei, and I'm looking at history. And I'm like, this can't possibly happen to us in the United States. It can't happen in my lifetime. We are too smart. We are too caring of a community in general. Even if you have opposing political views, you could see BS when you see BS. Also, the way the United States work, we don't even want nobody to tell us about our guns. We don't want nobody taking away our guns. We believe in the Second Amendment. We don't want nobody telling us about our rights. Whether you're pro-life and pro-choice, you don't want nobody to tell you anything. You don't even want nobody to tell you to wear a mask. You don't want nobody to tell you to get vaccinated, even though half the world, over 1 million people died of COVID. You didn't want nobody to tell you anything, but yet you have almost half a population is going to tell me that you're going to allow Donald Trump to come to tell you that he wants to do away with people that he feel that his enemies in Congress. He talked about how he's possibly going to assassinate people that he feel that his enemies. He's going to do away with a free press, right? This is what he's saying from his own mouth, right? He talking about the fact that he wants to get out of NATO. He wants to give Ukraine back to the Russian government, right? It's so disrespectful to Alexei, who actually died for this cause, for the GOP to not even think about voting to give funding to Ukraine because Donald Trump doesn't want to piss off the Russian government, who is a dictator and who's a murderer. So we in this country right now, in America right now, we're supporting Russia, who might as well be Hitler. We're supporting Russian Hitler. We support Putin, who might as well be Hitler. That's what we're doing. And then you have GOP who are so bold about the bullshit right now. Like they don't care. So let's go back to the representative in my community who's trying to stop the sanctuary law, because she's trying to stop the sanctuary law right now. She's trying to get it changed, even though she voted in, I think, around 2017 to allow it to happen. Let's talk about her right now. So she went in about the immigrants, right? She said we have to do something about the immigrants, but then she doesn't have any idea what to do with the immigrants. Just get rid of them. They shouldn't be in New York. Let's just get rid of them. So now you have President Biden, who gave the GOP what they wanted with the immigration law, to the point that the progressive Democrat was pissed off at President Biden, right? Now the GOP under Johnson doesn't want to bring the bill to the floor. The reason why is because Donald Trump said no. So what say you? Like my son likes to say. What say you, the Democrat-Republican, I'm calling this person a Democrat-Republican or Republican-Democrat because that's what she is. She's a Democrat. She's a GOP who's hiding in Democratic law. What say you? Because we can't do anything because your people in Congress are refusing to bring the bill to the floor. So what say you? What do you want us to do about this? What do you want us to do about this? And I bet you, I have a sinking feeling that this Republican Democrat, this Democrat Republican, is not going to be very helpful during this election. I just have a sneaky feeling, because she's been saying some some nasty side remark about Biden, some slick stuff about Biden, some slick, sidebar things I've been hearing. So I don't think that she is going to be very helpful in this election, and we need everybody to come together. Because if we don't come together as a Democrat, anti-Trump or GOP leaning, if we don't come together, then I don't know what's going to happen, to be honest with you. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. Hi, East Warren. How are you? Hi, everybody that's on Instagram that's either looking or has been looking. Please consider going to MamaFlipLive on YouTube. Please like the channel. And if you haven't joined MamaFlip slot channel, again, I'm going to remove this live from MamaFlip slot channel, leave it on MamaFlip live, because we want the MamaFlip slot channel just to be for slots. So this is going to be the one and only live that's going to be. And then everybody, I hope everybody, maybe until I start building MamaFlip live channel, I'm probably going to be doing clips on MamaFlip slots, but I really want all the political discussion to happen on MamaFlip lives. So right now we have we in a situation right now. Come this election, we're in a situation. You have somebody named Donald Trump who has 91 conviction, who's going through it, right? We're going through several hearings with this particular guy. He already lost 2 cases, and now we have the Supreme Court, who is actually going to listen to his immunity case. So, what is the immunity case? January 6th happened, and you guys could Google January 6th is when a bunch of crazy people decide they're going to run into the Capitol. There was 10,000 people out there. A few thousand went in. They had a noose. They were threatening to hang Pence at the time. They actually broke in. Some people were spreading feces in the Capitol. They were breaking in, and they were trying to hurt the representative. And even though the GOP representative now say they weren't scared, if you were watching like I was watching from the beginning to the end, they were scared. They were running. There's video of them running all over the place. They were scared shitless. They didn't, because those people out there didn't care whether you were GOP or Democrat. They wanted to hurt somebody because they felt the election was being stolen. They felt that Donald Trump was giving the raw end of the deal, and they were blaming everybody. And they were blaming everybody. So whoever they had a hand on, it was going to hurt. And you saw what they did to the officers. So on January 6th, Donald Trump was supposed to go up there and meet them and go into the where they were doing the votes, but apparently his Secret Service, who lost hundreds of texts, who deleted hundreds of texts, which I hope Jack Smith was able to get back, they decided to tell him, you can't go to the Capitol. He almost choked one of them. I believe that story that Cassie said, that he almost choked one of them. So anyway, make a long story short, he didn't stop the mob going into that Capitol. It was actually Pence that called and had the Capitol Police and the National Guards come in and squash everything. Everybody was in danger. This man didn't give a damn. He said, "Oh well, if Pence died, Pence died." Pretty much that's what he said. That's what they say he said. So now he has to go to court because all the other people that was involved, the Proud Boys and I forgot the other people. Okay, hold on. Proud Boys and hold on. Alexi, God rest your soul. Proud Boys and were found guilty for January 6th. The hell is the other guys? The other group that the Proud Boys. What's the other group besides the Proud Boys? How did I forget the other? Oh, it was Enrique. It was Enrique Toro that was actually pulled out the sign for that pulled down the flag from the Black Church. I wish I was there. Oh, boy, man, it would have been crazy. met before January 6th riot. I tell you. Give me 1 second. Who else? Oath Keeper. Oh my God, I forgot these mofos. So it was the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers. So they were found guilty, but also they also, in the long run, once Jack Smith came and did an investigation against the Proud Boy and Oath Keeper, he found that Donald Trump is complicit in January 6th because he didn't do anything to stop it. In fact, him and a lot of other people actually set up the lies, the election lies, saying that the election was rigged and that he actually won. Because of that, he caused these groups to come together and all the people to come to Washington, D.C. and riot. And also, he's the one that had the speech in the clips and he told them to go to the Capitol. But because of that, but also after when the riot happened, he didn't stop it. In fact, he continued to encourage it with his tweets. So now he's been convicted and now we have to go to trial. But now he's seeking immunity, and everybody, all the political, a lot of the lawyers on TikTok, on Twitter, etc., was saying, "Oh, there's no way that the Supreme Court is going to hear it because everybody know the president is no one is above the law, including the president. Everybody, if they commit the crime, have to go to trial." And then guess what? The Supreme Court with six Supreme Court, 3 of them which was placed because Donald Trump took over the White House, right? 3 of them, he's the one that put in there. So 6 out of 3, 6 of them now are going to hear the case of immunity after everything this man done. So they're going to say that everything that he did while he, anybody who holds the president hat, they are immune from crime. So they're going to actually hear about this. So they already did away with Roe v. Wade. They already did that. Now we have to hear that, and there's another case that is pending among them. And I don't know if they even came. I think it's the classified record. I don't even think they even gave an opinion on that. So now we have to wait until April so that they could give a hearing about immunity, where everybody know. For our entire life, we knew that nobody was above the law in the United States of America. But now we have to go through this. So who knew it was going to be here? Who knew it was going to be in a place where you have a Supreme Court who's so backed up with corrupt Supreme Court judges, right? With corrupt judges, that's going to support anything that that Trump and the GOP does. Who knew it was going to have a corrupt GOP House that refused to put anything that Trump doesn't like, including protecting the border, which they've been screaming on for years. They want to protect the border. The Democrats are not doing anything about it. Finally, they have a bill that everybody loved. Everybody wanted it. Not everybody. The Democrats, progressive, didn't love it, but the GOP was like, damn, we got everything we asked for. And then they refused to put it on the floor because of Donald Trump. Who knew was going to be here? And then you have Mitch McConnell, who was part of all this bullshit. Oh, and I'm hearing, I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know if you guys heard. Apparently, Mitch McConnell's daughter-in-law was killed. What's up with that? But let's talk about Mitch McConnell, and then let's get to the daughter-in-law. Apparently, Mitch McConnell is the worst, most evil person that I, in my opinion, followed throughout me being aware of politics. And again, I wasn't really aware of politics, but I watched this mofo do some evil crap, boy, behind Donald Trump. And now they're saying that this POS now has decided to step down. That's what it says. I'm just looking at the article. I'm just looking. Apparently, something else has happened on Twitter because I'm looking on Twitter. I'm looking at Twitter. The media has done nothing about the entire GOP treating Mitch McConnell last like a breakfast of Bernie punchline. They aren't going to lift a painted eyebrow on Trump. But spend just a few of Donald Trump confused over. Oh yeah, we know about that. So let's see. So this mofo decide now that he is stepping down. That's according to my understanding. A lot of people are talking about Mitch McConnell on Twitter. They're condemning him as being a traitor that sold us out. It's because of him that that we didn't have when Obama was in his presidency. He had a right to pick a Supreme Court. He actually picked a Supreme Court judge, but Mitch McConnell's talked about how no, it was too close to election, so he's not going to allow the hearing to happen. They didn't even allow the Supreme Court justice to even talk to the representative of the Senate. So he just said that no Supreme Court. He said he was very proud of it. He said he was very proud of what he did. That he didn't want to put anybody in that office. And then after that, when Ruth died, then he pushed Amy within 3 months. She became the new Supreme Court. This motherfucker, this man, Lord. Merrick Garland. It was Merrick Garland who's now is DOJ. So Merrick Garland was they refused to nominate, and they refused. The Senate refused to vote for Merrick Garland in 2016 in March because they said it was too close to election. And yet when Ruth died, they actually pushed Amy in 3 months. It was just pure corruption. Because of this, Mitch McConnell was able to help do away with Roe versus Wade. He was able to empower Donald Trump to do all the bullshit. And now that he's mentally ill, because I think he is definitely mentally ill because he's been doing a lot of crazy, like freezing moments and stuff like that. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Now he's stepping down, and we're supposed to feel empathetic. Because he hurt himself and he fell down and hurt his head and stuff like that. And now he has to retire because he's an old man. We're supposed to feel empathetic. And now I'm watching here that there is Mitch McConnell's sister-in-law death. Wow. Wow. His sister-in-law just died mysteriously. Now they're fighting now to see who's going to take over for him. It's crazy. This guy right here. Wow. I say this to say that, guys, that we are now in a period of our time that is very dangerous because we have a lot of corrupted people. And again, I started by saying this about 2 hours ago that your guy and they have their guy they want to support. I have my guy, and they believe that my guy is corrupt. I believe their guy is corrupt, right? When we start really looking at what happens, look and see what the unfairness of it, the backstabbing, the setup that's happening with these people, you start wondering who's the bad guy. And even if, like, for example, I'm sure Mitch McConnell, when he dropped dead, and I'm not going to say what I feel, that he's going to think in his life that he did what was right for him and his party. I'm sure he's proud of everything he did. I'm sure. He snaked, he backstabbed, he lied, he was corrupted, but I'm sure he felt that he had to do what he did for his party. I feel that the current representative I've been talking about all this time, she might be in the same arena. Might be, maybe not. She might feel that by her acting the way she is, by her pretending to be a Democrat and then doing Republican thing, that she's doing the right thing to get voted, to get the votes. Because everything she seemed to be doing is against the Democratic Party. Everything she seemed to be doing is for the Republican. Right? A lot of these political leaders are doing it for power, to win office, for riches, right? Throughout our times. That's what they do it for power, for riches. That's why they do it. A lot of them are corrupt. A lot of them are evil. A lot of them really believes in their mind that they are the chosen person or the chosen people, and their existence is to destroy anybody that's not them. A lot of them believe that. I don't know to go so far to say that this particular person I'm talking about feels that way, but what if this particular person, the reason why they're doing it is because if you are a Democrat, then you vote and you follow and you support the Democrat rules and norms. That's what you do. If you're not doing that, that means that you support the other party. And if you're acting like you don't, and you're setting people up and you're doing tricky things, that means you're about some BS. And that means that you don't care about the community, that you're just doing it for power, to get power. Maybe not to get riches, but to get power. And one of the ways to be powerful is to win the election. And you may feel that you need this set of people, or you might even believe that these set of people are right to win. And if that's the case, then you need to be with your people. You need not to be with the Democrats. Because we have no time. And I know I'm going in circles. I know I'm going in circles because I'm talking about so many different things, but we have no time. Mitch McConnell is gone. You have Johnson. Now they're trying to figure out somebody to take Mitch McConnell's place. They are not voting on the border bill. They're not voting on the border. They are putting all their energy and money into Donald Trump, right? We have no time. The Supreme Court is actually giving Donald Trump an opportunity to delay all the cases against him, especially the January 6th, because they decided they're going to push back the ruling or the hearing till after April. And because 6 of his Supreme Court justices are there, they're able to do that. Come on, people. Like, there's signs. There are signs. Donald Trump is telling you he wants a dictator. He wants to get out of NATO. He wants to give Russia to Ukraine. If you don't know any of these things, if you don't care about these things, all you have to do is Google. But at the end of the day, at the very basic, if you want to think about it very basic, you have a group of people who think that they are better than you. They need the power, they need the money, they need the riches. They are better than you, and they don't want to help anybody else except for themselves. And they are setting people up in order to get their way. And they're lying of who they are. And they're being slick and sneaky. That's the basic. Of everything I had to say all these hours, that's the basic. I'm talking about this one representative in my community, but I could, because that's the one I'm focusing on, but I could talk about the whole GOP party too. What are they going to do? What are they going to do about the immigrants that's here? Why are they not signing the immigration bill? What are they going to do about the fact that the IVF, which you have family members who cannot have kids naturally, now you keeping their eggs in their sperm, their eggs that you say are babies, you're keeping them hostage. They can't move them. They can't use them. These kids, these eggs that you say are kids, you keep them in hostage because you did away with Roe v. Wade. What are we going to do about those people who wants to have kids and you're supposed to be pro-choice? Pro-life. What are we going to do about that? What are we going to do about the fact that Putin killed Alexei and yet you don't want to give money to Ukraine? I'm not even talking about the Gaza Strip, Israel versus Gaza. I'm not even talking about that because that's such a political hotbed. I'm not even going to touch about that right now, even though they need the funding. They need the funding to support the people of Gaza as well as the people of Israel. I'm not even going to touch that because that's a hotbed issue. I'll leave that alone. But what about Ukraine, who Russia just went into their country, who, if we lose and we get a dictatorship, right? If we lose, because I'm not going to say after, because I doubt it. I doubt we're going to lose. But if we lose, we're going to get a dictatorship type person who can just say F it to everything else. F it to the rule of law, because the Supreme Court going to do whatever they want to do. He's going to say F it, everybody. He doesn't want to have free press, just like Russia. He's not going to want to have free press. He wants to do away with Social Security that I worked for 62 years, for almost 62 years. He wants to do away with Social Security. He wants to do away with Obamacare because he don't feel that we should be giving Obamacare, Affordable Care Act. He's going to do away from that. He's going to shut down the border. That means nobody could come into this country whatsoever, right? Except for maybe some people from his wife country, they might come in. He likes the blonde. At one time he said he'll accept the white, blonde, and blue hair to come to the country. He doesn't want the people from the shithole countries to come in, which is the black and brown community. He doesn't want to do that, right? Now they're talking about how doing away with gay rights. Now some of these states are now trying to reverse the right for gay people to get married. They're doing that right now, right? At one time they talked about, I don't know if they're serious about mixed marriages. I don't know what Mitch McConnell going to do, because I think his nephew-in-law is black. So what we're doing with the black people who married to white people, I don't know what y'all going to do. They're talking about that now, even though it's like, oh, it's not true. We would never do that. Yeah. Yep. They're talking about that now. So you see all these rotten, evil things that has happened because of this one man, and this political party are coming together to try to force this one man down our throat, who's telling you he wants a dictator. He wants to be another Russia. He wants to be another Putin. He wants to be another North Korea. He wants to be another one of those. He wants to be a dictator in the United States. He wants you to only get what he wants to give you. That's where we at. One person, one issue. Selfish, thinking they're better than us, thinking that we don't deserve anything. They're only going to give us handouts. The immigrants are nothing. Welfare people are nothing. People who want Obamacare are nothing. People who want Social Security are nothing. Yet we're not going to do anything to help you because the guy that's in office is not our guy. And then you come to my community and you have somebody who act like a Democrat and who's working with them. It's the craziest thing, guys. It's the craziest thing. So what do we do? I know what I'm going to do is I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that we have a democracy. I know everything I'm going to do in my hand is to make sure that I fight to keep a Democratic Party, a president. I know that's what I'm doing. I don't know about everybody else doing. I know what I'm doing. I'm not paying attention to these influencers, these celebrities, these black and brown celebrities talking even favorably about Donald Trump. I don't even want to hear anything they have to say. If that's how you feel, then you run with them. You run with them. You run with the Republican. And you stand with your guy. You stand with that guy. But don't come to me. Don't ask me. That's your people. I'm going to fight for my people because I believe my people is going to maintain democracy. I don't need a dictator. I don't need a crazy person to run this country and tell me how to do things. Even in the worst case, when these people were not taking COVID shots, and I was pissed off that they were not taking COVID shots because I felt that they were putting people's lives in danger. Can you imagine in a country where you are not allowed to have a choice to whether to take a shot or not take a shot because that particular person has the mindset to say that you got to do what I tell you to do? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to leave it there. I want that representative that I started this conversation about to make a choice, to say, if you want to be a Republican, then be a Republican. Stop playing around. Stop setting people up. Stop lying. Stop perpetrating a fraud. A lot of us have seen you. We've seen what you're doing. Pick a side. Pick a side and fight for your side if you need to, because I'm going to fight for mine. So that's where we're at. So I've been talking for a long time, but I don't want to stop. I'm over here. Girl. I'm on. Let me show you what I'm looking at. Hold on. Let me show you guys. Give me 1 second. I want to show you guys. I'm on Twitter because I'm on Twitter. Oh, I like this. If you support this man, I won't judge you for your choice of political party. I will judge you for your lack of morals, ethic, and humanity. So will others. So will history. I like this. I'm gonna save this one. Right, but I actually was looking for Mitch McConnell. I was actually searching Mitch McConnell, guys. And let me tell you something, guys. I don't know what's gonna happen with Mitch McConnell. I'm gonna stop it. I don't know what's gonna happen with Mitch McConnell, guys. But this man did a lot of damage. But anyway, let me stop. Anyway, I was just looking to see what was happening. So Mitch McConnell is stepping down. I have a lot of very powerful anti-feeling against Mitch McConnell and all the guys that worked with him to create where we are right now, because we could have had a fair Supreme Court. We could have had a fair Supreme Court who stood on precedent, who allowed things that's been rules for 50 years to continue instead of trying to dismantle the United States of America. We could have had that. He's the one that implemented that did the most damage to the United States. That's Mitch McConnell and his GOP fellow brethrens. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to say anything except for, don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split you. Good the fuck by. That's it. But Mitch McConnell. Anyway, so his sister-in-law got killed. Apparently, there's a murder investigation that's going on. I'm going to follow that. But the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was Diddy. So I've done a lot of... I haven't spoken about Diddy for quite a while. This is my first live in quite a while. So now you're telling me now that Diddy has another case now? Is that what we're talking about right now with Diddy? Oh my gosh, what's going on with Diddy? So apparently there was this music, another sexual, actually, no. There's two things going on. There's this woman that's suing Diddy for alleged sexual assault she claimed happened when she was 17 years old, when she was in high school, right? And she was doing it as Jane Doe, and she has pictures. Let me show you guys real quick. Hold on, let me make sure. Is the YouTube trying to? I didn't even look to see if YouTube is trying to stop me from showing it. Sorry, guys. Let me just make sure that YouTube. No, YouTube is okay so far. Okay, so let's take a look. Guys, apparently there's this woman, and I'm going to go to the other thing. This is TMZ. Please go to TMZ. She has pictures of her sitting on Diddy. Look at this. She has photos, guys. She's saying that she was she was sex trafficked in GR. You could read it. It's in red here. I don't want to say it out loud, but yeah, read the article for TMZ. So apparently she wanted to continue as Jane Doe. We don't know why, but the judge is saying that she's going to have to release. She can't keep her identity under wraps if the case moves forward. So we're going to get to know who this person is and stuff like that, her story. So that's insane. So this thing continues, and this happened on February 29th, 2024. So that's 2 days ago that the judge said that she's going to have to reveal her name, I guess, so we're going to get to know. But that's not the story that's really getting everybody in a tizzy. What's getting everybody in a tizzy is the fact that this guy named Rodney Jones. I think his name is Rodney Jones. He was a producer of a record, is now saying that he was sexually harassed by Diddy, that Diddy showed a gay video that he thought it was Stevie J. But the guy from the Stevie J said that Stevie J, the guy that actually did the video, said that wasn't Stevie J. That's him. I guess his name is Knockout. He's actually a artist. He does porn, right? A lot of people is criticizing this guy because the former producer Rodney Jones, because his name is Little Rod made it. Little Rod. Rod made it is his IG. But they said that, you know, before he made the claim, he tried to do a GoFundMe asking for money so he could sue Diddy for some music, attempt to get music because of the video he did. I mean, to attempt to get funding because he felt that he didn't get his royalties and publishing right for the music. So he did a GoFundMe, and when he did the GoFundMe and it only raised a couple of $1,000, he didn't talk about the sexual allegation until recently. And then now he talked about the sexual allegation. He says he has videos, he has films, he has stuff. And one of the things that he showed was the fact that there was a video that was shown to him by PDiddy that he said had CVJ in it. And it was a gay video of two men having intercourse. And he alleges CVJ. But the guy that was in the video said, no, that's not CVJ. That's me. My question is anybody going to talk about the fact that this guy said that PDiddy is showing two men having sex? Are we talking about that? If that's what P. Diddy's into, God bless him. I'm not talking about him having a right to care about pornographic or whatever, whether he wants to have sex with two gay men or not have sex with gay men. That's not what I'm talking about. He has a right to do whatever. But can we see here that if he did show the video, that means that should give additional evidence to what Cassie said in her lawsuit? He's showing pornographic. The guy's saying that he forced them to sleep. The guy's saying, let me show you guys what he said. Let's go into this article, you guys, so you guys could see what I'm looking at. Right here, Rodney claimed Diddy forced him to sleep with sex worker and watch gay porn, and even float the possibility he was drugged at one time. We don't know if any of this is true. This is all allegation against one producer, against Diddy, but there's a lot of different breadcrumbs when it comes to P. Diddy, right? A lot of breadcrumbs. So, and now Meek Mills is ticked off because he said, the guy Rodney said that P. Diddy alleges that he had sexual intercourse with a lot of male rappers, big time male rappers. Not Meek Mills is pissed off because he said, the guy said that P. Diddy said it was a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj, and then Meek Mill felt that they were talking about him, so he's been going back and forth crazy with this guy and stuff like that. But the whole thing is, let's say that happened. Let's say that P. Diddy have had a sexual intercourse with men, which he has not claimed, or we assume that he's denying. Let's say all of that. If they are adults, then they have a right to do whatever they want to as long as they're consensual adults. But with all these allegations and stuff like that, it all leads to sexual assault and sexual abuse. And it all leads to the fact that Cassie was right, that this happened to her. And other people, like this young lady who just put a lawsuit that she was 17 years old, that she was sex trafficked in G. And how many other people are now giving lawsuits to Diddy. And it's not only Diddy, a lot of people are being involved in this. And I talked about Will Smith and Jada, and the fact that Will Smith and Jada was part of Scientology, and then that one of Will Smith former friend is talking about all the stuff that Will Smith did, and that he walked in on Will Smith having sexual intercourse with Wayne, with Tisha Campbell, I think it's Tisha Campbell, Tisha Martin, I'm sorry. Hold on. Oh, I don't want to say her name. Yeah, hold on. Is that her? Yep, it's her. Yeah, Tisha Campbell Martin. Yeah, that her husband actually had a sexual intercourse with Will. And then you had and this is really weird because the other day I was surprised. Then you have the fact that Jamie Foxx was accused of actually having also an assault on the roof with this woman that he talked to at a club. He brought her up to the roof, and she's accused him of sexual inappropriate assault behavior. Inappropriate behavior and assault. And then the other day I was watching the TV, and it so happened that because I started doing a bunch of stuff, I have a list here of how everybody's connected, and I was trying to connect Jamie Foxx because Jamie Foxx's name came into it, and then I realized that Jamie Foxx was in a movie with Jada Pinkett. I saw that movie the other day. I said, wait a minute. I said Jamie Foxx and Jada Pinkett was in the movement with Tom Cruise. And I did a whole connection between Tom Cruise, Russell Simmons, the live. I have to put the live back up. Tom Cruise, Russell Simmons, Scientology, with Will Smith and Jada. Now to find out the other day there was a movie with Tom Cruise. That is crazy. Let me put this on my notes. All right, because I put Scientology in the middle because everybody keep talking about Illuminati, but I want to see how Scientology is connected with all of these people. And I don't want Scientology to come after me, but I just found another connection. Jamie Foxx, Jada Pinkett, and Tom Cruise. And let's go see the movie they were in, guys. Let's go see. I know. Why did I jump from there? You see how I keep jumping? Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx, Collateral. Here we go, guys. Let me show you guys. They were all in a movie together. Collateral in 2014. Look at this. Tom Cruise is Vincent. Jamie Foxx is Max. Jada Pinkett Smith is Anna. Look at these people. Oh, I didn't know Jason Statham was the airport man. I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that. I have to go look it back up. Collateral right here, guys. 2004. Every time you turn around, these people are connected. So I say this. So how do we know? So all of this has something to do with sex, right? It's always, everything is coming out. Everybody who's saying something about these stars has something to do with either LGBT community. They're not acknowledging that the LGBT community activity, sexual assault, and they're combining it with sexual crime with the LGBT community. And the reason why I say LGBT community is because they always, whenever they're talking about sexual assault, they're always bringing gay people in it as if it's a crime to be gay, which is not. But they always say, oh, you see Diddy, he's doing this and he's bringing a guy, he's doing all that. With all of this, no matter who they're having sex with, the fact of the matter is it's all assault. They're using their money and their power to, so like in politics, they're using their money and power to destroy an individual, to use an individual because they feel that they're better. They feel like they have the right to get whatever they want. They feel like they have the right to get sex any which way they want. They have a right to use you, to use others for their gratification. And that's all it's about if you really start thinking about it. Why are they doing it? They have enough money to buy prostitutes that they need to pay for, to live a certain lifestyle with a woman, to allow multiple women to give them what they want to. What is it about these individuals where they are cruel, where they have to assault somebody, where they have to take something or force somebody to do something that they don't want to do? What is it about them? What is it that's inside of them or that they're lacking? These psyche, these sociopaths, what is it about them that they lack in their humanity? What evilness lies in them that they feel that they could do that because they're powerful and they have money? And now a lot of people are being brought out, are being shown. And some of them are political leaders. You see what happened with Trump. He was found guilty of sexual harassing, of sexual assault of Gene. He was found guilty. Nobody could come back and say it wasn't true because he went through the court of law and he was found guilty. And he has to pay her $83 million. And even though Diddy didn't go to court, he has to pay Cassie $30 million. And he has other cases coming on. Now, I don't think anybody has accused Tom Cruise of sexual assault. I don't remember them doing, but there have been a lot of connection between all these predators with Scientology, because there are some former Scientologists that says that they were assaulted. They were assaulted as a result of Scientology. There's a lot of people that says that. A lot of people that said that. And a lot of people keep talking about how it's all Illuminati and they don't want to connect everybody to that. And the fact is that there are these billionaires, and a lot of these talk shows are talking about it now, about how some of these really very rich people have these very particular tastes when it comes to like voyeurism or dominatrix. They were talking about at one show, they were talking about a billionaire who liked people to feces on them, right? And then you have the Jeffrey Weinstein Island, where they were bringing all these young girls to be trafficked and have sex with them. It's all about power and sex and destruction and control and riches. And it's all about, it goes down to the very basic of somebody thinking that they're better than others and they have a right to treat a human being any which way they want, no matter what. That's the very basic. If you start looking at everything very basic, it's like you either think for yourself and want things to be done for you because you think that you're better than anybody else, or you want to help other people. That's just the two extreme if you want to look at it. And sometimes when you're so selfish and so disgusting and so powerful, you going to do what you're going to do, be damned anybody. And a lot of these powerful men are being brought to justice. But then you have more powerful people who's protecting them. And that's why a lot of people are accusing the Supreme Court of doing. That's why a lot of people are accusing the GOP of doing, of protecting this particular guy who's Donald Trump, who has been charged with sexual assault, who's been charged with crimes, who's been charged with holding classified secrets and stuff like that, who's been charged with lying about his taxes and his income in order to raise money, who doesn't pay his federal. There's a lot of things about Donald Trump that we've been talking about. A lot of things about Donald Trump. And these people do not care about anything. And I'm sorry I'm bringing him back up when I'm talking about Diddy, but I'm going to do it because powerful people get away with powerful things, and it's terrible. But let's go back to Diddy. So anyway, so that's what's going on with Diddy. So Diddy now has to deal with this lawsuit. He's saying that it's a lie, that didn't happen. A lot of people saying that this guy, Rodney, the reason why he's doing it is because he didn't get his publishing rights and he's lying. We'll see. They said that his case has a lot of juicy evidence, and one of them is the gay video. And there's nothing wrong with a grown man looking at gay video if that's what he wants to. If he's into it, then let him be into it. Let him be into it. That's what he wants to. Don't lie about it. But the thing is, if he's into it, and if that guy is Stevie J, even though they say that's not Stevie J, but if that guy is Stevie J and Stevie J is a friend, and there's a lot of stuff that, and now they're talking about Meek Mill and talking about all these other people that's involved in all these different things. Lord have mercy. Instead of people coming out and saying, yes, this is me. I have a consensual relationship with everybody that I've been involved with. Mind your business. I love who I want to love. They are all trying to hide behind it because they're saying that no, they always denying being gay or being in gay activity. They always do that. But they also, whenever there's any sexual allegation, they always try to throw the LGBT community under the bus, and that's not fair. Because it's not about being gay or non-gay. It's about using sex as in a criminal manner, about forcing people to have sex because you are powerful and you're rich and you're using them as if they are nothing. That's what it's about. And you're assaulting them. You're drugging them. You're forcing them. You're giving them money. And when they try to run away, you beat them up. And anyway, let's not even get into it. So anyway, we have 2 additional things with Diddy. I added the fact that again, and I'm going to upload my Scientology. I think I did, but I'm going to make sure I upload my Scientology take, how all these stars are connected with Scientology and stuff like that. I want to see if Scientology has anything to do with it based on the movie that I saw with Tom Cruise and Eyes Wide Shut. Was it Eyes Wide Open? Hold on. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. I did a whole thing about it. Movie. That's his former wife. I want to make sure I say the right movie. Eyes Wide Shut. Yeah, all based on this movie Eyes Wide Shut. It's creepy about, and the reason why I looked at that movie Eyes Wide Shut is because Cassie, part of her lawsuit, talks about a man that Diddy would bring these men, these big powerful men, wearing like a cape with mask to actually have intercourse with her. And Eyes Wide Shut is all about that, like women and men with cloaks and masks. So it's very weird. And of course, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman was part of Scientology, and it's about an undercover, is about a cult. So I did this whole thing online about how is Scientology involved in all of these very rich billionaire guys. Are they artists, stars? Is this what they do? And there's a lot of people who talk about they've been sexually assaulted while being under the religion of Scientology. And I just wanted to just make the connection. So I did all that stuff like that. So I have a bunch of names connecting and see how they're connected. And then I realized just the other day, I'm watching TV and I see that Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx, Jada, who lately has gotten a lot of controversy about them, especially with Will Smith and Tisha Campbell, Wayne Martin, Dwayne Martin, and him having a relationship that came out. It's just insanity. It's just insanity. So I'm still doing my connecting until I find something. This is just, that's what I'm doing. So anyway, welcome to MamaFlip Live. I'm going to be talking about a lot of things. I'm going to be talking about politics. All of this is my thoughts, my opinions on different things and different matters. And I don't know. I don't know if Diddy did do these things, and if all of these other celebrities, billionaires are out here victimizing people, using their money and wealth to victimize people. They need to be brought to justice. That's what I have to say. If you have consensual sex across the board, that's your business. It's nobody else's business. Everybody like the different thing. That's it. But if you're drugging, abusing, mentally abused, beating up, destroying different people, threatening, because you feel that you have a right to have it any which way, that's cruel. You're evil. It needs to stop. It needs to be brought up to justice. And that's how. And I'm going to continue to look at these stories to see if I can make any connection, because I want to make that connection. I really do. I want to make the connection. Because how are they all connected like that? Let's just think about it. How is all these powerful people connected like that? And why is it at the end of the day, a lot of these powerful people, not all of them, I don't want to be general, but a lot of these powerful people, when you start talking about sexual assault, that the MO are the same. Modus of I can't pronounce it. Modus of something are all the same. How is it all the same? If you start looking at the Jeffrey Hart, the Harvey Weinstein, all of these people who are sexual criminals, even the serial killers who done all these rotten, evil things. If you look and start listening to the serial killers, they just took it to by killing people. If you start looking at their MO or what they did to these women and men or whatever before they kill them, a lot of that stuff is very similar to these crazy billionaires who have money who's sexually assaulting these people. It's insane. Why is it they feel that they have a right because they have money and being there? What perversion and evil they have in them that they feel that they have a right to use their power and money to sexually assault people, to treat people as if they're nothing? Why? And are they connected somehow? Are all these people is it just because it's Hollywood and it's music and there's something in each of their minds that is perverted that they just connect somehow? How come they all know each other? Is it such a small community? And what about the people who act like they don't know that they're around them, but they don't know that this is happening? But when you later find out that they were part of the same party, in the same environment, in the same house, and they were drinking and partying, he and I and some. Oh my God! I want to continue looking to find a connection. If Diddy did it, or all the other people that's around them did something wrong, they need to be brought to justice. If they all collectively enjoying themselves, because that's what they do, they no kink shame, and they all are consensual adults, and they're having a good time, that's their business, no matter what they do. But if they're using their money to hurt people, they need to be brought up in justice. And if Scientology is involved in it or the Illuminati, then we should know about it, because we already have enough problems right now, because we have a GOP party that's trying to take out Democratic. I know I'm bringing it back to religious, but back to politics. We have a GOP party. We have a Donald Trump that's trying to take away our Democratic norms right now with the help of the Supreme Court and stuff like that. So it's all, if you start looking at everything, you have to just be very open-minded to see what's happening in the world. And we have to help and protect ourselves, and we have to make sure that we do what's right for us and for others. Make sure that we do the right thing. And having somebody that say that he's going to kill his political parties, his political opponents, saying that he's going to do away with the free press, saying that he's going to give Ukraine to Russia after they did everything, after they kill Alexei, saying that he's going to do away with NATO and stuff like that, saying that he's going to separate families with kids again, saying that he's going to shut off the border, that nobody's going to have a right to come to the United States of America, saying also the fact that if you are first generation, I don't know if you guys heard it, I heard it, I don't know if he changed it, but if you're a first generation American, he had the right to ship you back, even though all his kids are first generation also. Saying the fact that if you are in the United States and you are born in the United States, you don't automatically get citizenship. They could take you and send you back to whatever country your family comes. There's a lot of stuff that he's been talking about, meaning Donald Trump and the GOP are supporting him, even after everything he did with January 6th, where they hurt so many cops and they tried to stop an election and they lied and they lied and they lied. And he's a liar and they want to support him. That's where we are, guys. So be careful of the politics. If you're a Democrat, support your Democratic president. If you are a Democrat, don't act like you're a fake Democrat. If you want to be a Republican, be a Republican. Support your people. Do your thing. Don't act like you're a Democrat if you're a Republican and lie and set people up. Stop it. Do your thing. Okay? And that's it, guys. Thank you. It's been quite a while since I actually did a live, so I've been talking for quite a while about different topics, different issues and stuff like that. I'm looking. Hey, I see people. Hey, Sheila. Sheila was on here. Hey, darling. I'm looking right now. I'm looking at Instagram. I don't see anybody said anything except for East Warren Down. He said other people join. Please consider joining MamaFlipLive. That's the new channel where we're going to talk about politics, and just like tonight, you might be tired of hearing from me, but we're going to talk about all kind of things and stuff, from politics all the way to issues and just different things I won't care about. And also consider please joining MamaFlip slot channel. That's very important. That's where we're going to play slots, and you're going to see me really meet and enjoy new people. And that's where I'm going to be at with it. Unless somebody disrespect me and show me they're behind, I'm just going to meet people, and I'm sure a lot of these people do not have the same political views as me, and I'm just going to meet them where they're at, and we're going to have good times, and we're going to learn to play slot. We're going to learn from each other. If they start talking political BS, I'm going to say, nope, I don't want to discuss it, because I don't agree with what you agree, and you definitely don't agree. I agree, but that's why I want the slot challenge to be non-political, unless it's something very serious that have to do with the slot world. I don't want the channel to be I don't want this channel to be political at all. So that's why I created MamaFlips Live. That's where we're going to talk about politics and different things and give my opinion and go on and go on and go on and go on about different things. So please join that channel. I really appreciate you. Oh, and I almost forgot to talk about something else. There was this young man that was shot and killed at a bodega near where I parked my car the other day. And I want to get his name. I think his name was DJ. I want to get his name. God rest his soul. His mom's Lincoln. Hold on. Bodega. Shoot it. What do you mean? It's right here. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn. Oh, God. Shooting. Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. It's telling me it's not there when I know. I was there. Yeah. So, yeah, let me show you guys real quick the story. It's very sad. Reason I'm sharing the story because, I still do gun violence work. Hi, how are you? Hold on, somebody just wrote. Hi there, we need... Hi, Mike, how you doing? Mike is here. Hey there, Proud Democrats here. We need to vote these Republican out of office. I agree with you, Mike. Agree with you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Please consider joining MamaFlipLives and our other YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so guys, before I go, I meant to talk about this, but I really want to talk about this before I go because I know I've been talking a long time. But so I parked my car in Brooklyn so I could take the train to work. And I came home early because I had a meeting. I had an appointment and I had a meeting. And then, as you can see, this is the store. And you could actually see behind the officer. Oh, come on. What's the flash $3? I don't want to do that. Come on, website. Why do we want to make myself... you gotta pay... Okay, it's not gonna show me. All right, I'm sorry, guys. Let me stop. I hate daily news. Sorry. Let me make sure that This is him. Okay, you see his picture? This is him. Right? And I keep going backwards so you guys can see his picture and stuff like that. Let me go to... But you saw his picture, right? So... I think they have a picture of the guy. There's a $10,000 reward. So I'm over here. His name was Nazium Berry, 37, pronounced dead at the hospital at 4:15 shooting on Franklin Avenue near... I didn't even know that they even took him to the hospital. They said that he passed away on the scene. But yeah, so apparently they say it was because of he wouldn't give the guy a cigarette. Images of the men they believe to be responsible. So this is the person that they believe is responsible. This guy right here. Wow. I didn't see his picture. Wow. Anyway, so the young man was shot in the head. So I was coming home because I parked there and I couldn't believe that there he is. That's his picture right here. I actually was passing by another shooting incident and it just... I don't know what else to tell you. I've been doing this gun violence work for a long time, but sometimes you are removed from it. It doesn't directly impact you in a way, right? Because you hear it in the news, you see it all the time. And I work with a lot of gun violence survivors, people who lost their loved one to gun violence. So I work with it. So even with this work, somebody could still just catch you like, I can't believe this bullshit is happening. I literally park in that area all the time. I very rarely go to that deli, but I have gone to that deli to buy candy and get a soda and every once in a while. Very rarely, not too often, but I've gone in there, right? So they killed this young man. I came there. I saw the police. I didn't know what happened. Then I spoke to someone in the neighborhood. They told me what happened. They said that he didn't survive because they shot him in the head. God rest his soul. But I think what freaked me out is that the next day I came, the store was still open. In fact, the store was still open. No, nobody went there that day, but the store was open the next day. And that freaked me out. The store didn't even close 24 hours. The store didn't even close a week. The person who worked at that store, I don't know how many years he worked, was shot and killed from the store, and you guys didn't close it, and it freaked me out. And it freaked me out because it goes back to what I was saying a lot earlier today, as far as people only care about what they care about. They're only concerned about what directly impacts them. You remember when I was talking very earlier about politics, and I said people don't care about politics. They don't care about anything because it doesn't directly impact them. So they will complain, but they don't care about what politicians do to hurt others. They just don't care. It's not their thing. Just like before I became political, I didn't care because I was really working hard just to survive in these streets. But all of that is granted. But I was really impacted by them keeping that store open. And of course, they want to keep the store open because they have to keep paying bills and stuff like that. But they didn't even close the store for 24 hours or 48 hours. They just kept the store open after one of theirs just died out there. It's just, it really hit me hard. And it just brings me back again to the cruelty of people. Like, the reason why the store is still open is because they have to make the money, right? Money is the most important to them, not the death of someone who died. I'm not saying they don't care, but the fact is that money, that means a lot to them. The political leader I was talking about in the that I was talking about in the community, she doesn't care about the immigrant, and she doesn't care about making the Democrat looks bad. She really wants to support a Republican because she feel that they probably give her the office, will vote for her and give her the office next time. Again, power, right? Power, money. Then you have Donald Trump, who doesn't care about anybody but himself and his people. He don't care about nothing else. He doesn't care about Social Security. He doesn't care about Ukraine. He doesn't care about anything except for keeping himself safe, having power and money. Then you have Diddy, again, another person who allegedly, if he did what Cassie said, didn't care about nothing except for his own pleasure. He didn't care who got hurt. The trafficking, allegedly, the gang R-ing, allegedly, the forcing videos, allegedly, the messing around with all these other very rich, powerful black males, allegedly, all of them doing all this stuff because of power, because of money, and because of selfish, self-absorbed reasons. All of it. So I was very upset when I came back the next day after this young man died that they actually had the bodega open. I thought it was the most disrespectful thing that they did. And I don't know how his mom feel. God rest her soul. God rest her. But to Nazi and Barry, I hope you rest in peace. I hope they catch the guy that shot you and kill you. He deserved to get under the jail. And I showed you the video of what he looked like. So hopefully if anybody's seen him, they could submit his name to the police because he needs to be brought to justice for shooting that guy. And they said it's because, one story says it's because he wouldn't give him a cigar. Life is means so little that you're going to shoot somebody in the head because of a cigar. It's crazy. Anyway, thank you guys so much, everybody who joined. If you guys are on my Instagram, please consider going to YouTube. Go to YouTube. I'm going to put it in YouTube and subscribe to, I'm going to put both. MamaFlip Live. I'm trying to see if I get it. Did I say love? No, I didn't say love. I meant live. Come on. Sorry, guys. L-I-V-E. And oh, sorry, guys. I'm trying to put this. You should see me. I did all of that and didn't show up. Sorry, guys. Oh my gosh. You should see me. I'm trying to put it in there. Okay. Now, join. Mama FLIP Live. Okay. And you should see me, guys. Mama's Flip Slot. Let's see. I forgot the P. I forgot. Oh, I think that's it. Did I? Yeah, I think MamaFlip. Did I lose me? I think I lost me. Anyway, guys. Sorry, I think I lost me. Nope, I'm still here. Sorry, guys. Oh my gosh, sorry. Hold on. I'm trying to put it down. Okay, so join. Oh, now I can see it. Okay, great. MamaFlip Live, LIVE, and MamaFlip Slots on YouTube. And I'll say thank you. Yeah, guys, I really appreciate you guys if you guys would do that. I just put it on the MamaFlip Live. Please join MamaFlip Live and MamaFlip Slots if you guys don't mind. All right, guys, let me stop because I'm sure that YouTube is going to be upset that I still have this thing up. Do I have it up? No, I don't. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. It's been a long time since I did a live. I don't know how many hours. Oh, 3 hours and 14 minutes. Oh, it's medium. One time I did 6-hour live. Thank you so much for joining me. Please consider joining my YouTube channel, MamaFlip Slot channel. I'm going to remove this video from MamaFlip Slot channel because I want everybody to join MamaFlip Live. Again, the MamaFlip Slot channel is only going to be for slot playing. I will come back and start talking about different things. I really, really seriously want to talk about us continue to support the Democratic Party because, guys, it's scary out here. Literally, I know I've talked in random about it, but it looked like we're back. Like, I can't believe it looked like we're back in the 1960s when we were fighting against the Vietnam War. Looked like that we're back in the French Revolution when they were chopping people's heads, the rich people, because they were hungry and stuff like that. And I'm not saying some of these revolutions, I know it might sound crazy. I'm not saying that some of these changes didn't need to happen in order to move the country, but the savagery is what I'm talking about. The selfishness is what I'm talking about. I mean, I would never have thought that I would live in a country where I have to feel that we're going back in time. Like, it's crazy. Like, we're going to go under the dictatorship. The reason why these people in the revolution, they were killing these people is because they felt they were dictator. They ran the country because they felt that they were rich and powerful, and all the people were hungry. So they killed them during the French Revolution. They did all of that. And it just seemed that we're going to get back in that time again. We're getting to the time where we're going to lose our Democratic Party, and then we're going to be forced to be under some type of dictatorship. It's crazy. I can't believe that it's even possible. And if that's the case, then it's going to be all-out war. People are going to get hurt. People are going to get killed, one way or the other. God forbid. Anyway, let me stop because I want to go into my rant again. Thank you so much for being here. And hopefully you guys will join, and hopefully you'll come back if I have to listen to more things I have to say, because I'll come back. Okay. Bye, guys. Good night. Good night.